welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Hey K5, hey Sedona, good to see you. It's been a while. Yeah. K5's getting up early, so limited time. Nice, but good to see you both, and and everyone else that's watching that's not in chat. Thanks for stopping by. So I think finally everything is back to normal. Last week I was drawing on a very strange tablet. It only took one more BIOS update, one more Windows update, and then a driver update. Oh, and a firmware update for the tablet to get it back to normal functioning. That was a lot of work this morning, but it's worth it because now I can actually draw normally again. Yeah, very strange. But hope everyone's doing well. I think this setup is kind of back to normal. Let me know if it's too quiet or anything. But yeah, we'll try this for a while. All right. Oh, and last week, apologies for the 3 hours of piano music at the end of the stream. I think I trimmed it for the archive, so it's not uploaded that way, or it's not currently that way. But yeah, as soon as I said, I need to go pick up my daughter, I got a message that said she was at the eye doctor because she'd been hit in the face, like hit in the eye, and they were just worried. She said she was having trouble seeing, so they were worried and took her to the eye doctor. So I had to head over to the eye doctor right away. And I was so startled by the message, I didn't even think to turn the stream off. So sorry about that. But she was fine. It was creepy when I saw her, though, because they had dilated her pupils, I guess, to get a better view, so she couldn't focus or see anything. So she wasn't even like looking at me. Like when I met her at the doctor, she wasn't focusing or even looking at me because she couldn't see anything. And yeah, so that was just a little scary. So that's why you get so much piano at the end of last week's stream. So sorry about that. But yeah, I totally forgot to shut things off as I'm running out the door. Yeah, so it was fine. No black eye or anything. Yeah, they're practicing for the PE festival they had over the weekend, and she just got a shot in the eye. But yeah, she's tough, so it was no problem. But just to be sure, just to be careful, they wanted to take a look because she said it wasn't her, vision wasn't normal right after it happened. Oh, good. Yeah, when I came back, I'm like, oh, the stream's still running. Yeah, that's the great thing about kids is all kinds of, scary things like that happen. There's constantly a something coming up. Yeah, that's the weird thing. I think the strangest thing about having kids, and you immediately feel it, is now there's something that can be taken away from you that will destroy you, that will really mess you up. So you're more connected to the world, and you're more fragile now because you have to worry about someone. And like with your family, like your brothers or sisters or parents or whatever. I guess when your parents get older, you worry about their health and things, but there's not much you can do about that. It seems like as a parent, you're like completely obsessed with the getting this little person to adulthood, or else you failed. But it just does feel like an immediate weakness. Like suddenly you have this thing that people can take away from you. And that's why divorce and child custody and everything is such a mess, is because that parenting instinct kicks in really hard, and then you don't want anything to get between you and your kid. But that could also mean your ex-spouse, so that's a lot of no fun with that. But that's why that's become so difficult, just because you have such strong feelings that way. But yeah, I just remember that very first feeling was shocking. It was shocking how okay, there was definitely a before and after, and pregnancy lasts for such a long time. So it's already happened, basically. But depending on your views, we won't go into that. But yeah, just suddenly when that kid is out, in the open air, suddenly you feel that huge weight, and now you're just like tied to the world now, and someone is depending on you. And if you didn't have that, because basically before that we were just students, so not a huge amount of responsibility. Maybe just pay your rent is about all. But yeah, that's a very weird thing. And so you get that. You get periodically you get that, or when your kid gets really sick when they're small, it's very difficult. But yeah, it's a weird thing. That adjustment. I don't know. Hey, Michael Scott, how's it going? Oh yeah, I watched the first couple of episodes of Squid Game. I don't like Korean acting. What passes for Korean acting? I mean, I like it in some, like in Parasite, or in the Mr. Vengeance trilogy, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and Old Boy, and all that good stuff. I don't know. I was having trouble dealing with that. And it's very just Asian. Like that's what a lot of Japanese, like, TV dramas and comedies are like. But I just hate that loser guy character that they do in Korea. I think it's a little worse in Korean, because Japan has a little bit more subtle style. But the acting, I don't know if he's like the main character, but the person you follow the most is so annoying, and so it breaks your suspension. Like, already what's happening in the story is pretty fantastic and pretty unreal, but it breaks my sympathy for him at all. I don't care if he lives or dies. I want him to stop talking. And also Korean, I don't like the sound of. Sorry, I'm really sorry, anybody, but it's hard to listen to the sound of Korean sometimes. Like when it's very exaggerated and supposed to be comical. Not understanding it sounds it's yeah, kind of annoying. But yeah, it's an interesting idea. I mean, it's sad. Always, just like with Parasite, a lot of Korean media is dealing with class problems and broken systems and stuff. I mean, it's basically, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that's not seen anything, but it's dealing with people buried in debt, buried in loans and debt and things that they can't pay. And that's a huge symptom of like the modern world is, rotating debt and predatory, loans and things like happened with the real estate crisis. But yeah, I might have to switch over to English dub, and then I can work while I'm watching, just so I can follow the story. But yeah, it's very similar to a lot of I think just people haven't seen a lot of Japanese TV or Japanese manga or things, and Korean too. I mean, they're very experimental. Some of their most interesting stuff is very very novel, or it feels very original. But there's a lot of stuff like this. I mean, I would say even like how. Or just like the tone of it, like even like Death Note or something has a weird tone of like there's something going on beyond normal people's knowledge, and they are just kind of subjected to these tests or these things. I don't know. And the weird, you get this right away. I don't want to spoil anything, but you get this right away. The tying the kids games, because I guess Squid Game is a Korean kids game that they explain. That's the first thing that they explain, and so it's a lot of the things they have to do are based on children's games. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe there's a metaphor that evolves, but I can't believe how like popular on the internet this series is. Like a lot of people are talking about it. But yeah, it's a little hard, that weird acting of the wacky, clumsy, always having a stupid reaction. Like I don't like when writing for a character, like their stupidity is what moves, or like their weird behavior, their weird irrational behavior moves like story things ahead, or like key things to change the consequences or stakes of a scene is someone just like freaking out. I think I complained about that with kids in movies too, that there is a cheap way to make, oh, the kid just gets scared and runs away and everyone has to go find them. Like, that's not good writing. And some of that Korean stuff feels like that, or some of the stuff in Squid. I'm not gonna generalize. Some of the stuff in Squid Game felt like that, where the guy was just an idiot, and he was his idiocy is just causing things to happen. Oh wow, yeah, yeah. I can imagine it gets pretty sad. I got through the first few episodes. Yeah, yeah, but there is. I mean, there's a lot of sadness in Korea in general because there's no safety net, there's no pensions, there's no retirement, there's no future, and the companies are so predatory. And it's something that Japanese companies are criticized for, is letting people stay too long, collect too big of pensions, like have very comfortable retirements. But then when you look at Korea, you see the opposite of that. You see people that have nothing, and their children had to leave the country if they didn't get hired by Samsung or Daewoo or one of the like few major corporations in Korea. They have no future, they have no life, so they need to learn English or Spanish or Japanese and go work in a foreign country. And they also have that weird predatory thing where they'll literally just push you out in your 40s because they want your active, they want they want to get you into a company, train you, get all your energy, where you're going to give them crazy 14-hour 15-hour days, and like it, be happy about it. And then when you start when you're over 40, they'll just push you out and they want the young blood in. So what do you do when you're in your 40s and you've just lost the job that you've had for the last 20 years, and there's nothing else? No one else would be hiring. No one else would even consider, because I think they have a similar situation to Japan, where you're highly competitive through university or through all of your schooling until university, and then university is basically your gateway to be interviewed by the few top companies that there are. And so you can get a good position, but that's just a very few people. The people that fail, they don't have options. Like, they have to either live a very very rough life or just get the heck out of there. So that's why you have in a lot of countries, you have so many Korean immigrants, and why they'll come really young and work really hard, because that it's a much better option than they've faced in their home country, like that, for job security and everything. But yeah, it's getting, I mean, I'm sure it's getting worse, but for the kind of baby boomer generation that's retiring, they have amazing pensions, and the healthcare system is really good. I mean, there's so many people, and unfortunately it's so good that you start to have like parasite kids that live off of their, they're just like, live at home or live with their grandparents, they live with the kind of the little extended family. And so this whole household is kind of relying on a big pension check from a grandparent. And so sometimes you get the the vacuum bag, the stories of keeping corpses alive because you don't want that pension check to end. But they're so good in some cases, some companies in some situations, like government employees and things, just like in the U.S., that they can, whole families can live off of them. And so it's a difficult situation when that person gets old and sick and dies. Nobody wants to report that they got that they died, because that means the checks stop coming. But it's surprisingly good. I mean, you don't have there's a lot of really sad stories. Like, there's like 24-hour dance hall. I mean, these are just like random things I've seen on the internet or whatever, different documentaries and stuff. But there's and I'm sure someone Korean could correct me and actually be more accurate. But there's like these all-night dance halls for senior citizens, for like retired people that are like old 1950s, like, just a big band is playing. It's probably not a band. It's probably not live music, but they just play music from their childhood, and they just dance all night. They just meet at these dance halls and just dance all night together, like they would have as teenagers in the 50s or 60s. I guess not during the Korean War, but during their childhoods. But And that's all that because there's nothing else for them to do. Like a lot of Asia people have really tiny apartments that you can't socialize in, really tiny homes or tiny apartments that you can't gather together in very easily, and especially if you have extended family living there. So older people just go out and slow dance all night. And there's like literally places that just handle them, just like keep them busy. But yeah. Oh, your first scammer. Hey, Yum, how's it going? Talking about Korea. Nice. uh. Mm-mm. Yeah, most extreme elimination challenge. Nice. Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, so that's why a lot of Korean media that comes out, like TV dramas and movies and stuff, are obsessed with class and you know income disparity and things like that, because it's a rough situation. It's just they didn't build. I guess when they rebuilt after the war, they didn't rebuild infrastructure. They didn't plan to support people in their old age. They would just tried to, like Japan after World War II, just kind of get the economy going and back on its feet. But they didn't. It's not the rising tide lifts all boats kind of philosophy. It's just a very specific, like, hardworking group of people that also have connections and things, because that's why their government is so corrupt with money, with bribery and things, is because it's this weird elite group that is controlling things. And you can get into it if your family has enough money and you've had enough luck and success, but a lot of people get pushed out of that because there's not enough room for everybody. So so I really feel sorry. I knew a few my one of my friends was dating a Korean film student, and she had come just by herself, had come to the US at like 14, 15, and just learned English, went to high school by herself. I think she had like an aunt or uncle or somebody that lived, so she had a little bit of a home base, but basically did everything herself, and then got herself into what was it, Savannah, I forget which film school, but she went to a film school and she was making movies, and he was dating her, just amazed. And she had so at that point she had only been in the US maybe like 5 years, because I think she was like 19. She had just started film school. So yeah, crazy. But that was her dream, and she decided she was going to do it because it wasn't going to happen in Korea. But yeah, that's really crazy. The things you're kind of forced to do. Oh, and there was another. There was a Korean student at the university that I work with during the week. There was a Korean international student that came, and he was getting married. So he was explaining to the school, he was happy that he was accepted, but he has to take some time off right away because he's getting married. And he's like a 19-year-old kid or whatever, 18, 19 years old, and was marrying like a 36-year-old woman, a Japanese woman. And it was obviously just for the spouse visa, for the green card, but they don't have green cards here, but yeah, just for the visa to live here. And his reason was he wanted to get out of the compulsory military service they have in Korea. So that was, I hope she knew that. I think she was just the fiance was just enamored. She was a fan of, like, the pretty K-pop boys and Korean drama. So she was just happy to have a pretty boyfriend that agreed to marry her. But so that's a little mercenary on his part. But and he also, that's a thing, I think it's becoming more common in Japan, but he was also one of those Korean guys that wears foundation, so you can obviously see he's wearing makeup. And whenever it would come up, like whenever like during student meeting or teacher meetings with his advisors and stuff, it would come up, and he would always explain, I don't understand why all Japanese men don't wear foundation too, because you want your skin to look as perfect as possible. So he would this would always be a discussion with his advisors. It has nothing to do with his academic career, but yeah. Nice. Mm. Nice. Yeah, so those kind of things are funny, especially the weird cosmetics thing. I mean, because I guess like you can get Korean cosmetics now like all over the world, so they're doing pretty well at exporting that aesthetic. It always reminds me of like my grandmother's like style of makeup, because it's so thick and it's bright red lips and real heavy like one tone, like very flat color, so it looks very painted. And even Japanese girls are doing that now. Like it was a natural thing, like a powder and real natural look was popular for a while, and now that K-pop and Korean cosmetics and things are popular, that painted look, that kind of clown painted look. So it reminds me of my what my grandmothers looked like in the 50s. But they don't shave their eyebrows though. Oh, that's an interesting difference. Is that look, like in the 40s and 50s, you took your eyebrows off and you redrew them on, and now like the real thick eyebrow, so some natural eyebrow, but some real thick drawn eyebrow is part of it. So I guess a more Asian version of that. But it's very strange, and that's the thing that when they interview young men and say what are like the top 5 things you look for in a woman, always 1 or 2 is skin. Like that is such a huge focus for Asian guys. So that must be a lot of, especially as a teenager, if you have any acne or anything, you must feel destroyed, because there's this weird Asian obsession with like perfect skin, with clear skin, and that's part of like the the aesthetic too, the heavy makeup for like the theater, or like geisha style, is a perfect look. It's a very smooth, perfect look. Oh, and they also, to have the smoothest surface possible, I see signs like this all the time outside of salons, and it looks terrifying, but they'll show a woman laying back in some kind of spa type situation, and a straight razor, like a whatever, a person, a salon employee, whatever, with a straight razor, like shaving her face. So to get the in Asia, to get the very perfect, like porcelain looking skin with a very thick coat of like foundation makeup, you can't have little downy soft hairs on your face, because then it won't be perfectly smooth. So they shave their whole face and then put makeup on top of it. But they show like a straight razor, like a woman laying back in a straight razor, like right over her face. It looks like a horror movie. But yeah, it's very bizarre. Yeah, skin is good. I hate seeing just that connective tissue and muscle and circulatory. But yeah, so above like eyes or breasts or legs or hair, skin, like the quality of skin is the very high requirement. And I think for women too, like women like guys now like to see guys with nice skin. It's not so important, but it's becoming, and probably in Korea it is, like in Korea it ranks is one of those attractive features. Yeah, skinless partners is pretty disturbing. Nice. But yeah, that's a hard thing. I can't like mentally ever get to that point where that's how you're assessing, yeah, people. It's very different, like a very big culture difference. But yeah. So Korean stories. But it's funny. I'm marrying a woman twice his age to get out of. I think it's. I don't know how many. I don't know how many months of military service it is, but it can't be that bad, and you get into shape at least. But maybe you can't bring your makeup, so they don't. They don't want to go. They don't want photos of them without makeup. all of the photos are like this. Uh-oh. Almost got a timeout. Nice. Yeah, so that's a funny thing. But yeah, Michael Scott, I watched a little Squid Game because I was curious because it was so popular. Like people were crazy about it. And it was #1 in Japan. Like I'm on Japanese Netflix and it has like a top 10, and it was #1 for a few weeks. So yeah, they love Korean entertainment here. Music and movies and TV shows are popular. But yeah, I don't know. I can't. That goofy loser character guy is so annoying. And in the beginning of Old Boy, that character was a little bit like that. Like when he was drunk, he's a little bit, stupid and cringy. But it was really short, and it explained why he could get himself into that situation, like why he could be abducted. And he kind of, got his shit together and did some push-ups. Yes, that's right. Skin. What is that? Skinism? Complexionist. I'm a complexionist. If you have any sort of sun damage or blemish at all, it's just not acceptable. Complexionist. Yeah, that's a funny thing. Like there are so many. Yeah, Twitter is pretty funny because it's coming from a very specific point of view, and I think everybody knows what point of view that is, but it can't take into account that more than half the world can't understand, or even not more than 75% of the world can't understand or even know what the hell you're talking about. So that's pretty funny because there's a lot. The world is very big, and there's a huge variety of opinions and the way people do things. It's all wrong, of course. but yeah, it's very funny. Yeah, and the mistake that I've seen a lot of expats, like people living abroad out of their home country, that are kind of white, progressive, liberal people that want to, tell people what to think, or to at least, argue with people about what's correct based on whatever, is that they'll make the mistake. They're Caucasian, and they'll make the mistake of saying, "Well, I live in Asia," and it's like you don't even. That's not what it's about. Like understanding anybody's actual opinion, understanding anybody's real culture is not what it's about at all. But I've seen people make that mistake a few times, claiming some sort of expertise by being a living amongst another culture. That's totally meaningless in the Twitter world. Yeah, but that's very funny. Dermicist, that's nice. I've been called a dermicist more than a few times. Yes. The intense amount of dermicism that goes on in Asia disgusts me. I'm going to start a change.org petition to stop the dermicism in Asia. I think that would have a big effect. What was I just saw there was a change.org. Oh, somebody started a petition to make the standard for Dungeons and Dragons and the standard role playing games metric instead of imperial, because they hated the fact that people used miles and feet and inches, and they couldn't in their little maps and things. They had to convert everything. So they want it converted to metric. I think they should go much more intense and do the even older, like the before imperial, all the like weird units that Europe had, furlongs and the stuff that's like pre feet and inches, and just got all wacky that nobody knows what they mean anymore. They should go all that direction to make it even more arcane and incomprehensible. But it's funny. Some people just love their little spreadsheets for playing their little games, so it's frustrating when they have to convert. Yes, so change.org is used for all kinds of important things. Yeah, it's very funny. Oh, yeah. I've been having crazy, maybe allergies, crazy eyes recently. It's like fall allergies. The rice, the rice harvest. I guess the whatever happens, the little fuzzy stuff on rice when it comes in, puts a lot of stuff in the air. I forget what they call it. It's rice something. It's rice related, and I've just been getting hit really hard with it this year. I'm taking allergy medicine, and it doesn't seem to. I guess it doesn't hurt my like I'm not congested or sneezing because of it. So that's the medication, but I am my eyes are just taking a beating. Very irritated, but who knows what that is? I mean, we get all kinds of crazy imported air pollution from China, so it could just be that they're having another round of mercury released into the atmosphere or whatever. Yeah, we get all kinds of fun stuff from having dirty neighbors like India and China. Yeah, that was something I was talking about that to someone because Japan is always taking those positions of being so renewable energy and ecological and green. They try to model themselves, even though in practice Japan is really bad. Like, I mean, they use way too much plastic, and you'll have something that's wrapped, like a plastic tray wrapped in something, and then individual things inside plastic things, and then you separate them, and it's like 10 times the plastic material that you need to have for packaging, because they love everything individually wrapped. So in practice they don't follow the their teachings, but what am I even talking about? I get so wrapped up in plastic. But yeah. So something about right. So it's very the live stream is going to turn into that. You know that guy's name, the guy with the thing he had the hat and the thing that's very difficult is you can't tell developing economies, especially on the scale of like India or China, don't do dirty coal or oil based electricity generation, don't do this, don't do that, whereas the whole rest of the industrialized Western world did that for half a century and fucked up everything, made things as dirty and smoky as possible. And then once they had the economy, then they could kind of step back and make cleaner, coal burning factories and things. And so how do you tell these developing economies that they can't have that because of our new awareness of of ecology? You can't have that phase anymore, because that is where most of the pollution is coming from right now. So the rest of the world can't really do anything. They're doing almost as much as they can to reduce things, and but you can't tell the developing world, no, you don't get to have that. You have to pay for these expensive technologies that scrub chimney or scrub smokestacks and do all these things that save the world. But it's very crazy. Hey, Kane, how's it going? Yeah, that's very true. Every country is incredibly hypocritical, but yeah, that's a difficult problem because you just have to wait for their dirty phase to end, and it may never end because they may choose to never end it because I think there's a lot more tolerance for bad air and bad water in China because they've done so much dirty manufacturing for so long. Leather. Or I guess that's more Southeast Asia now, but like leather, the chemicals to cure leather and everything are brutal, and they just dump them into rivers and things. So yeah, it's gonna be, I guess it's a combination of things, but that is a really, everybody's kind of hamstrung, and wasn't it what's her face, Greta. That was my favorite. That was my favorite favorite thing when Greta Thunberg had her finger wag at China. It's like, okay, everybody else is like, oh, we're so sorry, we'll do better, how dare us. And she said something about China, and China said she's fat, she looks like she's getting fat. That was the first thing, that was their response to her criticizing the dirty manufacturing in China. She looks fat. Yeah, so that was pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, it's really it's super hypocritical, but I guess everything is at this point. But it's very difficult to get everybody on the same playing by the same rules. All right, and we've taken advantage of that for so long. The kind of the global economy has really needed cheap, I mean, not cheap, like dirt cheap, like insanely cheap labor, like something made so cheaply that it costs less to have it made and ship it all the way around the world than it is to make it in your own country. That's insane exploitation. Yeah. That's true. What can you do? Oh, yeah. So it's funny. Yeah, and yeah. China is definitely a bully. They use like mafia tactics basically for everything, and it's just like the world made them. The world gave them the ability to just hoard cash and get screwed out of a lot of money. Like they talk about like the amount of foreign companies that can successfully do business in China is actually so small, and most people just lose everything. But we don't hear about that. We are just kind of, they're just talking about the limited successes like Walmart and a few of the people that have dealt directly with the Communist Party. They don't go in and try to negotiate independently with Chinese companies. So it's yeah, all I heard when I was working for the guy that was doing the tinnitus, like the medical devices and stuff, he was doing some manufacturing in China, and he and like everybody that he knew that was he's kind of this inventor guy that was doing a bunch of random projects, but mostly in like the medical devices field. And he said, yeah, so many people just they set up this manufacturing, they make these deals, and either get what they get produced is complete trash and unusable with like no quality assurance, like no quality testing or anything, so it doesn't even work, or the manufacturing is done and then they hold what they've produced for you ransom and say, okay, now let's renegotiate the price. Kind of like the moving scam in the US, where you're moving across country and they put everything in the truck, and when they pull up to your new house to unload, they say, we got some extra costs we got to talk about. So they basically are holding everything you own in a truck and are going to add, thousands of dollars onto the cost of the move because looks like there's some dirt, some mud in front of those stairs. We're going to have to charge you for that. But it's that same sort of thing. You're on some schedule, you're on some, warehousing distribution deal, you need that stuff in the US or wherever you're selling stuff. They know it's ready to go, and they say, about that price that we negotiated, that really good price we gave you, it's going to get a lot less good. And what are you going to do? Yeah, there's just there's no way around that if you put yourself in that situation. Yeah, I really felt that the little bit of like business stuff that I did during those bubble times of the internet. So many business deals and contracts, they feel like a heist movie. You know, like once there's money, like once money exists, it's just like everybody's like slowly stepping backwards. It's like, okay, who's going to be the first person to try to screw everybody over and take the money and run? Like it felt like that so often. It's just like there were all these maneuverings and you never knew like when you could trust. And I guess because it was like, you know, more Wild West internet. And so it attracts those kind of people. But it felt like it was the scariest part was making money because it was just like, okay, who's going to try to empty that bank account and, you know, leave town? It was, really, really uncomfortable feeling. And I'm sure on a smaller scale or on a different scale, that's probably what it always feels like. But yeah, that really, really creeped me out. And, you know, basically quickly realized I was not cut out for, you know, not caring about what I was selling or doing. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm online. Oh, boy. Yeah, some of that stuff was really fun. Whoa. But a lot of it was some shady people. Alright, what is that? A giant brick of butter. So something. Yeah, maybe something like this. I think I've already done a paint joke, haven't I? So a new breakthrough in cosmetics or just... what is that? What's another word for spackle? Hole filler? It's got to be a better or a funnier word. I mean, spackle is pretty funny, but I don't think that's going to be spackling compound. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, hey Kane, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you in the chat. Bondo, there we go. Oh, yeah, that would be good. Either Bondo or a breakthrough in cosmetic surfacing. Spackling compound, cement, mastic. Yeah, maybe this joke is not going to go well. Oh, putty. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Cock. Of course, Yum comes in. Yum comes in with the cock. Of course. You guys have all seen that. I think it's a Korean taught English class. I think it's real, but it's the the woman telling you how to order a large Coke, but her accent is so bad that it sounds like she's not saying Coke. Yeah, so how to order a large Coke in Korean. English is pretty funny. Yeah, that's brutal. Oh, man. Oh, I filled that, didn't I? Great. Where are we here? Okay. Okay, good. All right, sorry. Just checking to see what I did wrong. All right. Yeah, it's really... and I think tensions are only going to get worse. Oh, an interesting thing. I was listening to somebody talk about, the kind of the current state, this kind of fallout from the lockdowns and everything, and the factors that have affected shipping all the shipping and manufacturing kind of global stuff, and they were saying that the microprocessor market, like that was the thing we didn't hear much about. Like all we heard is like hoarding of toilet paper and I don't know, bottled water, whatever the things that like people were personally hoarding from like Costco or whatever. But the actual hoarding that went on was in components manufacturing, the microprocessors that like Taiwan produces. People just went nuts hoarding and over ordering to avoid shortages, and still shortages happen, and that's why like the PS5 didn't do well, because they didn't make enough PS5s for the world or whatever. And oh no. Oh no, a New Zealand decking advertisement. Do they use a lot of liquid nails? Oh man. But oh yeah, so that above anything else, like when you look at the motivations for China's kind of imperialism or their kind of their territory grabbing, it's always about resources, grabbing resources and controlling. So right away, like we heard them dealing immediately with the Taliban because there's lithium or something in Afghanistan that they want access to, and so that's why they keep flexing on, not flexing or saber rattling, I guess, on Taiwan, is because they want control of that microprocessing manufacturing in Taiwan, because it's very crucial to like world electronics, the market or the whole industry. So they don't give a damn. And what there is like weird political reasons, because all of the dissidents or all of the people of the pre-communist China, they fled to Taiwan. So there's that, but that probably is not the main reason that they look at that, or they're trying to deny the existence of Taiwan. It's more that they just want to say, yeah, China controls microprocessors, not Taiwan. And of course that's what they're doing. I think I've done a paint joke, a makeup as paint joke before, but we're gonna have another one. But yeah, that was really depressing. So all of this stuff is just, it's just as obvious as you think it is. So plus 5 is 19. All right. Yeah. So that's, it feels so sinister. And to have that like right, like in Japan, that's like right at your back door. Like if they land on the beaches in Taiwan, that's going to be, we'll be able to hear it from here. It's fucking terrifying. Yeah, that must have been really, I never thought about that. But while Japan was rebuilding after World War II, like war was raging on the Korean Peninsula, and there's some parts of Japan where you can almost see Korea. Like there's some parts where Japan and Korea get so close. It's a very short trip. So, but I guess, they were probably dealing with, because I'm sure America was using Japan as like a staging area and everything for the war. So they already felt very involved, but to just be at the end of a war and have another conflict like ongoing right nearby, that had to be really bizarre. Oh, but yeah, it's crazy. All right, let's do something other than boxes. Okay, sorry, K5, I gotta check out the. Sorry if this comes through on the microphone too loud. Oh, wait. I'll have to do this.
I could barely recognize my own dick. Then I discovered Schaefer's New Zealand style dick suit. The best way to take care of your dick in 3 easy steps. First, wash your dick in soap and water. Then, wait for your dick to dry. Once your dick is dry, paint your dick with Schaefer's dick suit. I used to be too embarrassed when white people oversee my dick. But now, I can have pictures of my dick. Check out that dick.
Nice. Oh man. I don't know if this is on YouTube, but maybe it is. Nice. He shows pictures of his. Oh yeah. Whoa, whoa. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yeah. It says I can't tell if this one is. I think maybe everyone's seen this. It's been around, but I don't know if it's real or not. You know, because it looks very. It could be very possibly staged. Because I don't know enough about the Korean accent to know if they would actually make, if that would be the mispronunciation. Yeah. Because, yeah, in Japanese they have that sound, so they wouldn't mispronounce it. So stupid. Yeah, it's like a million versions of. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. It looks. I mean, it's low production enough that it could be legitimate, or you know, someone could have intentionally made it look stupid like that. But I like the pictures of his deck on his phone. I wonder if he sends unsolicited deck pictures. Nice. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. That's funny. Nice. Hmm. It was funny. There's a guy, a friend of a friend, who was kind of recently divorced and re-entering. I don't even know what kind of a nightmare this is, but re-entering the world of Asian online dating, and I guess it's full of Chinese scammers, not scammers, but Chinese like aggressive, like women that want husbands so that they can open bank accounts in foreign countries, right? So they're not poor, they have a lot of cash, and they want to get this cash somewhere where the Chinese government can't get a hold of it, or they can, you know, not pay taxes on it or whatever. And oh, hey, good night. Good night, Kane. Thanks for hanging out, talking some China and some what can you do. Nice. Yeah, have a good one. But yeah, so he was getting inundated with, it was all Chinese women, and they were all talking business. Like they were all, you know, asking him, you know, do you own any property, blah blah blah, you know, kind of just not being very romantic, and like being very aggressive, like pushing forward about meeting and doing stuff really fast, but always with this kind of business thing in mind. And but there's been this crackdown recently, this kind of cultural crackdown in China. The Communist Party is trying to take a hold of people doing things like this. So they want to collect as much tax as possible. They want to correct any kind of media deviation, so no feminine looking guys on, you know, Chinese movie, or, you know, in the theaters or television in China. No excessive video game addicted kids. You know, they're trying to correct all the cultural problems that have invaded China. And so this crackdown has meant that you can't do that. It's like very difficult now to move money, and you can't do business without the consent of the party. You know, you can't do business very easily. So on an individual level, that's just done. Like they've restricted it so dramatically. So he had all these women that he was in touch with, and all his friends are saying they're scamming you. You know, don't do this. Don't think anything is legitimate. They just want access to the banking in Japan. And he's like, no, I think they're for real. I mean, it seems genuine. And then immediately they all just disappeared. as soon as soon as yeah, as soon as that crackdown happened, suddenly these women were not interested in getting married or dating foreigners anymore. That's pretty funny. Yes, Yum. No femboys. Femboys are undermining the power, the strength, the masculinity. So it's interesting. Both Russia and China are very like, you know, men are men, and they must be strong and look strong, and yeah. So they occasionally, it's very unsuccessful in Japan, because that look, that gently, you know, like in, especially in anime and stuff, that kind of androgynous look is very popular, and that's not even a word anymore, is it? But anyhow, that femboy look is very popular here, so they couldn't ever get it out of the media. But occasionally a politician will say, you know, manga today is making boys gay. Like they'll literally, like one of these, like, you know, ancient politicians will say, these comic books are making the young men of Japan gay. That'll be their their enlightened stance. So they'll want to put some sort of restrictions or some sort of like censorship, but it never happens. Like Japan is, as long as you're not, as long as it's not political speech, yeah, Japan is pretty permissive about a lot of types of content. But yeah, so the femboy market of Korea and Japan is being undermined. China will not stand for that. So that just means, because the Chinese people are very good at, you know, on the face of things, obeying the rules. You know, of course I'm following the rules. Of course I would never do anything like that. And but in reality, they have a VPN. They have, you know, they import things. They have access to all of that. So that's just going to create this weird black market for importing femboy media. Yeah. Oh, that was the most. I was in Animate, kind of one of the big manga shops in Japan. My daughter wanted to go, and so I'm waiting for her, and I'm just kind of walking up and down the aisles, just looking at what's new. And so many like romance manga and stuff now. All of the I guess because they're trying to be as timely as possible, and they're produced, you know, pretty rapidly. All of the very you know, young, like high school, or I guess junior high school, but the first kisses and everything involves a mask now. So everyone is like pulling their mask aside to like have their first adolescent kiss or whatever. It's so depressing. So that's like such a cultural thing now, because it's like 100% compliance, that people are artists are incorporating it into stories because it feels, you know, of this time. And if you're trying to sell to young people now, of course, when they're kissing someone, they take their mask off first. But it's really weird, yeah. And the way they kind of visually use it, you know, because now it's another exposing yourself kind of thing. So so depressing. Don't worry, Yum. I'll keep you in femboy media all you want. I can be your exporter. You don't have to follow the Communist Party's regulations. I could imagine. Well, I don't know. I mean, I can imagine some parts of America actually trying to do that too, saying that there's certain. I don't know though. It's really weird. Like without Christianity, like without the. Because I'm so used to, like, my whole childhood was the conservative Christian right. You know, they were protesting things. They were the power that was influencing, you know, anti-gay marriage, anti-abortion, all the, like, the big political issues in the U.S. were always conservative Christian right. And it seems like the Christian is gone. You know, it seems like in a lot of politics in America. So when people take these stances about things, they don't use Christianity anymore. Like, you know, the authority of the Bible or anything like that anymore. So it takes a lot of the bite out of the, you know, trying to kind of, you know, socially engineer, you know, how people are supposed to be. So it's very, very different from what I remember as a kid. Everything being assaulted by, protesters, like religious protesters. And maybe the death of that was that wacky church, the Westboro Baptist, that crazy church that was protesting military funerals, and they were just the God hates queers, or God hates some, whatever, would be I'm sorry, I won't say that word on YouTube, I guess. The God hates somebody, those people that were protesting. I think that was the end of it, because it was so ridiculous and so over the top and didn't make any sense, because, you know, the military that these young men served in and died for supported this corrupt, government that allowed, these things that were against the Bible. I think that was the end of that, because it just was so ridiculous and so over the top that it just like took the legitimacy out of any of that religious protest away for a lot of people. So you just don't see that anymore. Yeah, it's got, well, some babies don't see their mother's faces, like for huge amounts of time. I mean, when you're a little tiny baby, you I don't think your eyes even are focused very well. But to only be looking at eyes and like have your mother, like if you spend a lot of time being, hauled around in public, like seeing so much less. So not only is your mother like turned away her smartphone, but when she turns back to you, she's wearing a mask. Yeah, it's gotta, I mean, I think the level of empathy and the amount of facial, like social cues based on facial expressions and things, our whole vocabulary, the whole range of subtlety in social interaction is just going to disappear because people don't know what any of that looks like anymore. Yum's got all the codes, the codes down. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, but that's really yeah, that's really a strange thing. The kind of the moral authority is this very you know moralistically relative thing. It's like based on your own views. That's why you get ableism and body shaming and slut shaming and all of that, is because it's just based on this, like, it's not, there's no tradition, or, and I don't want to sound like a crazy traditionalist or too old fashioned or anything, but like people's opinions are just based on, well, I kind of think this, and the pressure of a social group, of like being part of a social group, like you believe what they believe so that you fit in it, and but it's not based on any what are these things? It's not based on any longer no deep traditions, or a lot of the strange stuff in religions have a social function. Marriage is kind of collecting money together for the church to get access to, and all that good stuff. Like it actually, and not eating pork and things is like keeping you from dying of trichinosis. Like there's like socially functional reasons for some religious beliefs and things or practices, and without that, it's very odd. It's very odd to hear people moralizing based on nothing, and especially coming from such a religiously wacky country as America. People with these like unfounded, unhinged kind of beliefs. It still makes sense because that's what America has always sounded and looked like. But when it's decoupled from an actual religious practice, it's really strange. For me, I'm just used to that other, that opposing force, clutching a Bible in one hand, and that's just not the case anymore. The real socially conservative people are just making it up as they go along. You just want me to do the limp wrist gesture on stream so you can you can watch it again and again. You can just clip that right out. All right. I don't know. Maybe like a shopping bag. Oh, that's not even a thing anymore, is it? Can you still get brown paper shopping bags from grocery stores? I remember having like a mountain of those when I was a kid, but with all the weird recycling and everything that's going on, I wonder what's happened. Because the plastic is now evil, so are we back to paper, or is it not a thing anymore? Okay, and there's like a thing here. Yeah, it was just, you had like infinite, and they were terrible too, because you can't. So they started to do. I remember in Chicago they would do the paper bag, but then they'd put a plastic like handled bag over it. Otherwise, you couldn't walk in the rain with it. You can't hold more than two, because there's no way to except to clutch them. You have to look like a 1970s movie. Wow, yeah. Yeah, they're really getting weird, and they might reverse themselves in Japan. They've done this thing where they don't automatically give you plastic bags. You have to ask for them and then pay extra for them, so it's not an automatic thing to encourage people to use the eco bags, the nylon eco bag. What they call them, eco bags here. I don't know what they're called, the nylon shopping bags. But the government's thinking about reversing it because it hasn't had any of the effect. All it's done is made people that make plastic bags richer because there's additional costs now. They can make additional money from providing them. It hasn't had any of the ecological benefit. We haven't saved any turtles. 0 turtles have been saved doing this, and it just creates a lot of like weird opportunities for shoplifting, and especially like during the pandemic-y bad weather times. Someone putting their filthy shopping bag that they brought from home on a counter in a convenience store is not exactly the ideal to not spreading whatever around. Not necessarily a virus, but it's a very dirty practice to have everybody in the same thing. Yeah, reusable. Oh, that's a much better idea, but nobody uses them. Right, we made the bags heavier for reuse, but just throw them away. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it just. Oh, that was the thing. Yeah, like if Lil Will jumps on, I wanted to ask him about the New World. I just read an article that that MMO, the Amazon MMO, people are like scamming like crazy on that thing, like using the systems they built in to kind of control the companies and the heads of the companies, and like raging war on conquest, company against company. Like people are manipulating the system so that they're using the auto ban kind of mechanism. So they're false reporting people that are like the heads of these certain groups, so it knocks them out of the competition, so their accounts are banned, and then they have the war, and of course the other company wins the war. So they don't understand that you can't completely, you have to test things, because you can't ever know completely how humans are going to exploit something. So it's funny though, because MMOs have a pretty long history now, and we've seen like with EVE Online and stuff how crazy people can be as far as robbing each other and exploiting systems. So it's funny, Amazon is just like, yeah, we'll set up this really fun system that no one will ever do anything bad with, no one will ever use it incorrectly. And that's the first thing that people did, is falsely report people to get competitive advantage in the game. And people are I guess when you set up a company, you can tax the members. And so they're collecting this virtual currency, finding a busy company they can collect a lot of money from, and then just taking all the money and running, because there's nothing to stop you from doing that. And then starting another company with that, all the riches, the previous caches of the other guys. Oh, Will is here. Yeah. How's it going? Yes, little Will, I was summoned. You have been summoned. Yeah, I was just curious if you've had any weird experiences with companies, because I was reading a thing about how some people are gaming the system and false reporting people, so they're auto banned, so they get kicked from certain conquests or certain battles, just to make it easier. So Amazon just doesn't know. Very cool. Oh, hey, Unknown Girl, how's it going? I think you, Unknown Girl, caught the end of the longest piano marathon ever last week. Yeah, when I accidentally left the stream running after I ran out the door. Yeah, but I was interested to hear what experiences you've had with New World, if anything has gotten strange, because it seems like Amazon they're not taking advantage of the experience of World of Warcraft and EVE Online and stuff, where they've seen people like exploit things and gold farm and stuff. They know all this stuff exists and people are going to exploit systems heavily, and then immediately they have people like stealing the company's treasuries and false reporting to get high level players banned from PvP or PvE. I guess it's PvP. Yeah, the conquest, the bigger battles. Yeah. Yeah, that's really funny. And I don't know, it doesn't seem like Amazon. I don't know. I wonder if they hired enough veterans of that industry to actually keep up with that, because it seems like the upper management has no idea game wise what they're doing. So hopefully they've hired decent people. Oh, we'll do a paper bag. We'll just do a paper bag joke. Hopefully they've hired decent people to kind of run things, or else if they just don't dedicate enough resources to play testing and security and stuff, and they're just gonna have to keep switching stuff around. Well, I think it's an auto. I think people are taking advantage of, if it's like they figured out. They always, people figured out these systems so quickly. They did like a lazy, like 20 or 24 reports on someone is an auto ban, just like an automatic, like automated, just like a script built in, like a little bot that bans you. So they do have to check it. They do have to have like a real world person looking at these things. But for right now, and I think they're probably so overwhelmed with the popularity of the game, they've got way more users online than maybe they even thought about. They don't have the resources to do that, or have to figure out like where to spend the money to keep people happy and keep things going. But yeah, it was just nice. Oh man. Yeah, so I was curious what was going on the ground, like boots on the ground, because you know, server to server and everything, that everyone's experiences are so different. So I was curious if a real player, of what you'd seen server wise or on your side, because yeah, there are always going to be out of control, well, just like the stories of betrayal and crazy things that happened with games like EVE and some of the early MMOs, when they're just trying to figure out how people are going to scam things. But all right, maybe a little bit smaller for this stuff. Yeah, I was just curious. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still trying to. My daughter's not playing it, so that's one thing that can't. She's still stuck in Final Fantasy 14. So that's one thing that can't pull me into it quite yet. Because if she was on New World, I would definitely check it out, just to have an excuse to chat with her. But yeah, it's funny. If Amazon is successful, this is crazy. If Amazon is successful at that. Oh, did anybody have any? Because since I was on last, the Twitch breach, the data theft or whatever from Twitch, I changed all my keys and logins and everything for Twitch just in case. But yeah, Twitch is also had a little trouble. Yeah, I think this will work. I have no idea what the joke is yet, but another like randomly standing thing. Yeah. Oh no, no, I haven't. I haven't been playing anything. I've just been reading stories like my news feed. I guess because I was like on the page on Amazon or on Steam, like reading things. So then my newsfeed gets full of a bunch of New World, and maybe just like listening. My phone is listening to me talk right now, so every time I say New World, it's like selling that to Amazon. But yeah, my news feed has just been full of stuff. So no, haven't been banned. Haven't played enough. I don't think I'm devious enough to actually try to get away with anything like that. But that's yeah. It's just funny that you've got the experience. You've got like what 20 years of experience now with like how people are going to behave in a massively multiplayer online situation, and they still can't anticipate this kind of stuff. Oops, that's kind of paper bag color, right? Maybe a little less saturated. Yeah, that's really funny. But I'll wait for things to shake out a little more. Yeah, I haven't I played a bunch of I mean, most of the big MMOs as they came out, and I never got caught up in anything too strange. Even with EVE Online, everybody I met there was pretty straightforward. There was no scammers or no weird stuff going on. So just got lucky. And I think it's only when you get real greedy in those games that you start to run into the people that are going to screw you over. Somebody with a plan. Yeah. On I don't know if it's the same with American Netflix, but on Japanese Netflix, Seinfeld popped up. I think it was on Amazon for a while or something, but not for free. I forget where Seinfeld was in Japan, but finally it's on Netflix in Japan. So I've been watching old Seinfeld. That's like one of those things you can just put on and have on so comfortably. I think after I tried to watch some Squid Game, Seinfeld was much more comforting, much more familiar and comfort food after all the crying and screaming Korean Korean characters. But yeah, I'll have to keep up because I do want to get to like the sad part, like the really sad parts of Squid Game. That might be fun. But I'm surprised how excited the internet got about it. I would definitely recommend Parasite over Squid Game, though. Parasite's a much more beautifully, constructed comment on classism and income in South Korea. Yeah, it's super nostalgic. Yeah, so Seinfeld, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine what old Beverly Hills, because it wasn't the guy that died. Is he dead now? Yeah, I think he's dead now. He was like, well, I guess that was a pretty standard thing in movies, but he was like in his 30s towards the end of Beverly Hills 90210, playing a high school kid. But I think they do that. That was a real staple from like the 50s and 60s too, because they couldn't have actual kids playing kids and doing what kids actually did, but you couldn't have a child doing that on film. Nice. Yes, Michael Scott. Yes, you do. Yeah, there's a they started this right after I first got here. A thing called TASPO, Tobacco Pass. TASPO. Yeah, yeah. That's not right though. It would be ta. Oh no, I guess ta. Yeah, ta. Tobacco is ta, not to. It's ta. Tobacco Pass. So Tobacco Pass, TASPO, and it was like a a buying cigarettes ID card that you could get, just like showing your driver's license or whatever at certain places. And I was amazed by that when I realized that Japan could do that, because basically you have physical proof now, and you're in like some database of someone that is a smoker. So doesn't that affect like your insurance rates and all your medical care and everything? Like suddenly you're in a different risk bracket, and you have pre-existing conditions and stuff now that if you've been lying to your doctor about smoking all these years, they have physical proof. But yeah, they came up with this TASPO, but I think you can just use your driver's license too. I think there's a RFID or something in the driver's license. But there's a big plate on the front of the cigarette vending machines that you put your money in, and you push what you want, and then you have to ding the ID. I think you can use a driver's license though too. So, but they made a specific tobacco registration thing, and it's like, how dangerous is that for people that are gonna need emphysema treatments, or have to have lung cancer treatments? They say, oh well, this looks. I guess they don't have that problem because it's there's a national health insurance and things. They don't have those sorts of problems. But in America, it's impossible. You could never do that because the insurance companies would just say, oh well, you're registered to buy cigarettes from vending machines, so yeah, we won't cover your chemotherapy. Yeah. So it's pretty. So maybe here. Yeah, maybe. It's not working. It's not working. Yeah, but you're right, Michael Scott. Oh, you know what? I don't think I've ever bought a beer in a vending machine here because it's so like everywhere. Like all the convenience stores and everything have it. I've seen a few beer only vending machines. They're kind of rare. I'm not sure if they have ID or not. But alcohol used to be. Oh no, was it? Yeah, alcohol used to be like much lower here as well, just like in Europe. Like it was like 16 or whatever for alcohol. So I don't think it was so heavily guarded. Like they didn't worry about vending machines making it too easy for kids. But maybe after the drunk driving laws and stuff got crazier, maybe that happened. I'm not sure. I would imagine if it exists for cigarettes, maybe it would have to for alcohol as well, because they're very strict in the convenience stores. It's very odd. Convenience stores are strict for selling alcohol, I think because that liquor license is so precious. Like that's so much of their income. So if they lose the ability to sell alcohol at a location, then they'll just close it down, because selling cigarettes and alcohol are the only reason for convenience stores in a lot of areas. But so they're very strict at the convenience stores. But if you're in like a area near a university, as soon as you're a university student, they'll serve you. So they know you're underage. They know if you're in university, the first 2 years of your university, you're going to be underage because the drinking age is 20 here. But they'll serve you anyhow. It's just like, oh, you're a university student now, so that's the proof that we can, you can drink. So that's very interesting. At bars and restaurants, usually around universities, when they get university students in there, they don't card anybody. They just serve them. Because they know, well, it's within a couple of years. So you can drink right away at universities. They kind of turn the other cheek. And I guess because they want the money too. But, or turn a blind eye. It's not turning the other cheek. But that's, yeah, I thought that was very funny. That was a very funny kind of double standard, because they are so strict in other ways with the drinking age. But yeah, I think the... always the alcohol vending machines are not they're in a place where you're going to be around a lot of people. Sometimes they're out front of liquor stores and things. So they've got cameras, on everything. So I think that would keep people away. If they don't have an ID thing, I think that would keep people away. But it's only beer, and so, and it's, probably 5% is the the highest thing that they'll serve in a vending machine. So I don't know. Yeah, I remember in Sweden, I would see drunk 12-year-olds all the time because they didn't really enforce any drinking age, and there were vending machines everywhere. So we'd go out in high school. We'd be going out drinking, and I would see kids like late elementary school, junior high school kids drunk walking around. That was amazing. All right, so paper bags. Oh, good night, K5. Sorry. Off to bed, early riser. So yeah, can't wait until you're done with your early schedule, K5. We can have you around all night. And thanks for being on the weekly stream too. Take it easy. Yeah, I really appreciate that. You guys being on the weekly on Friday, that helps a lot and makes it a really friendly atmosphere, because I think a lot of the nerdy gamer people on chat are very territorial and very strange. So when there's this cool, laid back, awesome chat, and you guys are very welcoming, both you and Joe are welcoming to people that pop up on chat, I think that makes a huge difference. And thank you so much for doing that. You guys are the best. That helps a lot. All right. And this. Yeah, they do have beer and highball or shochu in a can vending machines. Oh, and they have the best thing they have is the sake, the hot sake in the glass cup, the 1-cup sake in wintertime. Oh, that's the fucking best. At the convenience stores, they'll have a heater, like one of those it looks like what you'd put a hot serving tray on top of, but it's got boiling water inside, so maybe for for keeping a tray hot, but it keeps water warm. And there's just the glass cups of there's like a glass with a metal pull top on it, and it's a hot sake. And so the cheap hot sake in the convenience store, little heated things, that's so good in the winter. It's perfect because it warms your hands, and then you drink it warms you. Those are the best. Yeah, that's very cool. But that's my favorite thing out of a vending machine. Beer is okay, but it's easier. Usually the selection is pretty bad. It's just your Budweiser and your Miller Lite kind of stuff in the vending machines. And so the better selection is always convenience stores or liquor stores. But the hot sake in the vending machine is great, because those are usually in right outside the train stations or whatever. That's good. No way. Oh, that's great. That's a good moneymaker, is drink with your customers and then charge them for your alcohol. That's great. Oh, no way. Dry County, I forgot. Yeah, they love their sake here so much. I don't think there are any dry prefectures in Japan. Yeah, I forgot about that in the US. And that was the thing about Ireland too. The one professor was talking about, they had a conference in Dublin, and it was Sunday, I think. It was Sunday morning or something. And he wanted to tour the Jameson distillery, and they couldn't serve anything. I think they could serve to the tourists. There was some really weird thing. They had some really weird rules. We had to wait for a certain time, and they could only serve you if you had a passport from another country. And because they had very strict Catholic drinking laws, or maybe Protestant. I don't know. I don't know who's worse, but they had really strict alcohol laws. But it was at the Jameson distillery, so very annoying for their business to have to play these games. And it's wait till 1:30 and then show us your passport, and all this weird nonsense. But I forgot about dry counties. And that was the thing when I was a kid. Beginning like junior high school through the beginning of high school, was in the border of Illinois and Wisconsin, and Illinois was 21, or I think 21. Yeah, I think it was 21, and Wisconsin was 18. So guess what? Everybody crossed the border. All the high school seniors, could legally drink, and then they would just bring alcohol back for everybody. I mean, having that kind of discrepancy is just crazy. There's just no way when you're on a border that people aren't going to violate that. Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I could see that, though, because there's a lot of bartenders that do get extra friendly in Japan, and I could see them doing something like that, because there's a lot of scams related to drinking, because people just get obliterated in Japan and are trying to pay bills. They're just like, because it's such a cash it's such a cash country, just holding all wallets with thousands of dollars in cash, and they're like, and trying to pay bills and things. So people aren't using credit cards. They don't start credit card tabs and then put stuff on tabs and then check check stuff out at the end of the night. They just like get confronted with an amount. Like you're out drinking all night at a bar, you go to change bars and you're cashing out, and you just get hit with this amount and you're just drunkenly throwing cash at them, hoping, how about this? Is this enough? Is this enough? So it's, I could see that kind of scam happening very easily here. And the hostess bars, like the girls bars and the hostess bars and stuff, are really bad too. If you don't ask about the price of stuff, you can buy $1,000 bottle of champagne if you're not, careful. Like there's a lot of that scammy type stuff. Just like I guess in strip clubs and stuff, when you buy the girls a drink, like it's not going to be a normal price drink. It's going to be something insane. So that's that same kind of scam here. So maybe that's the lower part here. I'm trying to make stuff that looks like cosmetics. Oh, wow. Yeah, 21. That's crazy. Yeah, it's so hard to smoke, though, in California. I wonder what what the impact was, because you're probably only smoking in the house where the parents aren't home. Anyhow. Wow. 21 for smoking. That's crazy. Yeah, it's really the bartenders, and I think a lot of foreigners, if their Japanese gets good enough, they'll do bartending, because people love to just talk to bartenders endlessly. So you can, get people all liquored up, and I'm sure make them overpay overpay very easily. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was really creepy. There was I was out with a coworker at this little bar in in sorry. In the little town, in a little bar, because we taught kind of in the middle of nowhere, and the bartender was a foreigner, and I'd seen him around. He kind of lived not too far from me, so I'd seen him around like on a bicycle. And in Japan, it's like, riding a bicycle in San Francisco, like it's just crazy hills. So it's pretty hardcore to bike around, especially the area that we're in. And we were talking about, and this is going to tell you how long ago this was. We're talking about Black Eyed Peas, Fergie of the Black Eyed Peas, and my coworker is a big fan of her. And I was saying something about she used to be on meth or heroin or something. I forget what drug she was on, but I said the name of the drug, and immediately his ears perked up. And the guy walked over and he's like, "Who's on what now?" And so obviously, my suspicion, my guess is that this guy came to Japan to get clean, because you can't get anything, especially as a foreigner. You can't get anything here. So I just mentioned some substance that he probably used to enjoy, and it was just really creepy how he was like, "What are you guys talking about?" I mean, from all the way across the bar, he picked up on that conversation. So I'm very curious. I haven't seen him in a while, so maybe he fell off the wagon, got back on the wagon, whichever that is. But that was really funny. It was real obvious that he was too interested in what we were talking about. And it was a really, I mean, I think the only time I mentioned anything like that in the conversation, he was just like, "Really, crystal meth? What are we talking about?" Very funny. But I could see that. I mean, I think Japan would be the ultimate rehab, because if it was substances, if it was not alcohol, you could definitely not get cleaned up from alcohol here. But as far as getting off a lot of other addictive substances, this would be a great place to do it, because it would be so impossible to. I mean, the people you'd have to know to get anything like that would be pretty terrifying. Oh. But yeah, I think that's a very funny. Crystal. Yeah, I'm dating myself completely. I know. But yeah, just talking about. But the, whoa. But that was really, really funny. I don't know why, or don't want to know why. He suddenly became so friendly. Maybe like this. So what, crystal meth sounds like marijuana cigarette? It sounds like someone that's never done meth talking about it. Yeah. Oh, man. There we go. Nice. Maybe here. Yeah. I'll do this. So sad. Maybe this one. Yeah. Oh. There we go. So I don't know what these are boxes of. Actually, I should move these eyes. Shouldn't I? No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, maybe put the eyes over. Yes. Put these over here. Oh, it's almost comment time. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, let's switch over. These are all colored up. Where is my mouse? There we go. I can't believe how hard it was to get the tablet working again. Okay, let's take a look at... let's see. Oh, it finally went out. Oh, there's a comment. All right, so the... Oh, wait. I gotta put the chat somewhere where I can see it. There we go. Oh, it's already doing that thing where it won't update. That's funny. This like combined chat, if it gets long enough, it doesn't scroll up. It just like shows you an arrow. It just like gives an arrow that you can click on to keep going down. All right, let's try this. So commenting. Whoa, that's not right. But there's the chat in case anybody wants. What has happened to this? Okay, so we're capturing the wrong window. Hey everybody. Check out this cool... Okay. I think the displays changed. How's that? Nope, that's not right. Yeah, that's right. The displays have changed the order when my last update. Ugh, that's weird. There we go. Sorry about the infinite me with the chat. All right. There we go. Yeah, that's right, because all of my updates, when I was installing drivers on here, when it would start up on the tablet, which is weird. So it must have renumbered the displays. Wonderful. All right. So from, yeah, this went out. This just went out, I think, at 4. So, but one comment already. Uh-oh. I'm worried. Do this. Dijon catsup. Nice. Fancy condiments. All right. And the other one, oh, sorry, that the joke, I didn't even read it. So for today, the joke was the fancy new condiments still couldn't help the terrible food. So a fancier catsup and a fancier mustard. All right. And then from the 7th, October 7th, despite being inedible or useless, they could still enjoy their shiny packaging. And a couple of comments. I should like everything I've looked at. They're never useless to a child with a good imagination. And useless now, but once held treasures. Nice. That shiny packaging. All right, and see, was this one? Oh yeah, the vertical tissue. Oh no, I guess I've seen this. Without a box, facial tissue just got weird. Unless it's a plastic sleeve. Get dirty quickly if you try to carry it anywhere. Nice. So what happens when you try to live outside the box? Nice. Oh, yeah, Ed, that's right, yeah. And Chromosome, it's been a while. Chromosome used to be a commenter from way back. Yeah, so people have, I guess, stuck around with this cartoon. Weird. All right, and butter. Yeah, I think butter has already been... Oh, yeah. Unwrapped butter felt a strange vulnerability that margarine would never understand. Yeah, that's right. I've seen this. Vulnerable, maybe, but butter felt secure in the fact that it was the real thing. After the butter had been unwrapped, the margarine found it hard to contain himself. Yes. All right, so let's try a few random... Oh. Hey, sorry, Shark. I just saw... Wait, I can't see the chat very well. Anything controversial? No, it doesn't get very... I mean, I used to draw... Other things that I've drawn were probably a lot more controversial. But yeah, some mild political commentary or mild social commentary, nothing too rough. Maybe this diaper and underwear is about as crazy as it gets. Nice. There we go. But yeah, Shark, thanks for stopping by the chat. Yeah, the whole tone, I mean, the name is maybe a little bit provocative, but the tone of the cartoon isn't too controversial. I think the controversy is how unfunny people find this cartoon sometimes. It makes people really angry that they don't get the jokes because it must be, me making fun of them or something. Yeah. Oh, 2006. Wow. Unseen. Avoiding further accidents became their obsession. Well, that must have been a new father at this point. I don't know why I had a diaper joke. Wow. Ooh, here we go. So there is some really old marker drawings. So you can see, like, now I would just copy paste like one digital glass and edit it a little bit, but these are all wacky redrawn glass things. Wow. Yes, that's right. Christian Minecraft. Yum knows. Yum knows the pedigree. Oh, cool. Well, thank you, Shark. I appreciate you taking a look. No, Lil Will, you didn't miss. You didn't miss much. Just looking at the comments from before. Well, thanks. I appreciate it, Shark. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is a first-year cartoon. Look at that. 2002. Wow. Yeah, so this is a 19-year-old cartoon. This is how poorly I drew 19 years ago. Yeah, and see, a whole different way of like trying to make glass, try to make it look like glass. Very simple. But this is still Photoshop. Still colored in Photoshop. So drawn on a piece of paper with a Sharpie. And then Photoshopped. Wow. Yeah, so next I got to get my act together for next year and do a 20th anniversary book. Here we go. 2014. On its own, Vanilla did not do much to impress. Okay. Yes, Vanilla doesn't need to impress. It's perfect already. Nice. Yeah, 19 years ago. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, so I've been drawing this cartoon forever. That's why there's thousands of them in existence. Can you believe I'm still doing the same thing? Either it's that thing where you do something like you expect a different result. What the definition of insanity is to keep making the same mistake and expecting the result to be different. I think this is a hey Rob, how's it going? This is a perfect example of that. Not knowing when to call it quits. Yeah, but I like the and it was kind of like my rock, or kind of my stabilizing force when I was kind of adrift in Los Angeles at a certain period. So yeah, it was good. It was something to keep focusing on, and I was surprised like how it got around, because during 2002, like the webcomic market was much smaller. So when I was submitting this cartoon to a lot of different webcomics lists and sites and stuff, people found it really easily because there wasn't the thousands and thousands of webcomics that there are now. So it stood out because it was very, magazine cartoon style. And yeah, I got some decent attention. I got some decent work from it too. Wrapping paper's sole purpose was short-lived and really rather deceptive. All right. Hiding the... Oh, another... Oh, nice. A 2006 that somebody actually liked. That's crazy. Cheese and Crackers was not exactly a battle of wits. Yeah, so this is definitely the early tone. The early tone of stuff. Oh, man. Yes, I guess that's the definition. Nice. Oh, pizza. No, don't. Oh. Yeah, I've been wanting to order pizza this has been a really busy week. So I've been defaulting to, let's just order a pizza. And I don't get any support. That's just not a Japanese thing. And plus pizzas are like $40 here. So it's a whole different financial commitment. All right. Yeah, so this is the odd kind of older tone, which, yeah, people still responded to the older tone of the cartoon. Yeah, pizza is really expensive here. I mean, it's pretty, even like Pizza Hut or Domino's, the ingredients are pretty elaborate. Like they have pretty complicated, and you can get quarter pizzas, like toppings, different toppings on each quarter of a pizza very easily. So you can do like a quarter meat lovers and a quarter veggie and a quarter like, you know, 4 cheese or whatever. You can like always divide it up, but it comes at like a really high price. If you don't have any discount or anything and you just order a delivery pizza, it's average about $40 for a large. So if you get two, you know, you can get $100 worth of pizza pretty easily. We've done that for some game nights and stuff. If nobody has any discounts or anything, we got killed a few times with pretty crazy. Yeah, you can get, yeah, there's good cheese and stuff. You can make your own pizzas pretty easily. Yeah, no, that's true. It is. I think they're just taking advantage of, like, you know, offices ordering it. That's the weird thing in Japan. They're taking advantage of it being like a special occasion that you order pizza, because there's a lot of holiday flavors and stuff for holiday, you know, style pizzas, if you can imagine. So you don't do it as like a casual. So we do it for game nights, like we're playing some board games or tabletop, and we'll just order a bunch of pizzas. And that's not how people use pizza here or consume pizza. It's a different thing. And there's a lot of good Italian restaurants with much better, like, handmade, you know, brick oven pizzas that they don't have here. So I'm just talking about delivery pizza. Like, delivery pizza is crazy expensive and not, you know, not any better than it is in the US. It's just like more elaborate in its in the toppings. It's the same crappy crust and everything. But yeah, so it's a weird thing, and I think it's just because it's such a foreign thing, so it's appealing to people that want like a foreign taste, or, you know, the convenience of you know, working late in the office kind of stuff. But it's definitely for like your corporate credit card or whatever. It's not for just a you know, kids wanting to order something on a, you know, like a sleepover or late night or something. The demise of a chocolate bunny usually consisted of slow nibbling and the occasional large bite. I think I've read that one before on here. Oh, here we go. 2019. This was definitely on stream. It looks like. Oh, speaking of, yeah, here's the very standard, always Tabasco sauce. Like, for some reason, regardless of what's on the pizza, they always give you Tabasco in Japan. I don't know why. Nice. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Nice. Oh yeah. A lot of things with V's in Japanese, they use the German pronunciation. So because a lot of words that would have V's in them would be a loan word. So like the coronavirus, virusu, they have a it's mostly W sounds. They do have V, but it is more B, like we sound. So almost like a B. But most of the words that would start with a V and they're bringing into Japanese, they would just do a W sound because it's a lot of German. But yeah. Nice. Wow. Oh, that's right. Yeah. The opposite season, I forgot. Different seasons, so it's like springtime, right? More springtime in the southern hemisphere. Nice. Oh, is that how you spell spiciness? Wow. Maybe not. The pizza was very concerned about aftermarket spiciness. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so this is a Japanese joke. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah, there's so many, like the little packet of the red pepper and the jalapeno. Those are supposed to be jalapenos in the jar, and or peppercini, yeah, maybe not jalapeno, or Tabasco. Yeah, that the aftermarket spiciness was was very much a weird Japanese thing. Pizza should be spicy. All right, last one. Spiciness. Yeah, it seems like that doesn't seem right, but I guess it's better than a Y. Mowing and listening. I can't believe this is a good companion live stream to actually cutting the grass. I've done this a few times, I think. The rubber stamp knew he had more to say to the world than paid in full. Nice. Yeah, I think I've done a rubber stamp joke multiple times. But this is, 2006, which is actually 2003. So that was the... nice. Yeah, it seems like Y seems like it would be correct. Or at least like, if it's not a real word, that's the way you would make it. But yeah. Maybe I spell checked myself. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Spiciness. Yeah, you're right. Especially this font, especially that I use for this cartoon. Sometimes words just look completely wrong, and it's not a great word to use. There would have probably been a funnier way to say. Yeah, the spicy aftermarket or something. All right. Okay, so back. Oh no, the writing part. Here's where it gets exciting. You're lucky, unknown girl. You're not trying to do any mowing during this part, where I'm just like, Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, 2003. This has been a long running cartoon. But I haven't aged at all during that time, so that's the good part. I haven't gotten any older. Oof. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I help R.C. Harvey do a website with a lot of his writing on it, and he's like a critic. He's been like writing about cartoons and comic books forever, like since the 60s, I think. And now in his like monthly posts, he'll have a whole like dearly departed kind of section. It's so depressing. Like so many famous cartoonists and people are just gone. Just like the list is insane. And sometimes like at the end of the year, he'll do a year in review, kind of like the Oscars, and just like do everyone that passed away that year. It's crazy. Like there's just nobody from, anybody famous that, from like the Sunday comics, everyone's dead except maybe Jim Davis. But it's crazy. All the old classic, like, Beetle Bailey and like the old classic stuff. Yeah, everyone's gone. Crazy. Nice. No, probably not. Yeah, I haven't worked on anything that got particularly famous. Like I did, character designs for mobile games and stuff, but none of the projects that I was on ever did well. It was really bad. I think it was just a lot of project mismanagement, a lot of like financial shenanigans and stuff, because I got brought on early and I didn't know how solid a lot of the projects or companies were. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, I never did anything that would be hugely visible. Yeah, the thing with the biggest circulation was probably the Disney comic I did. I did a only for about 2 years, because they went out of business as soon as 2 years after I started drawing for them. So I did a cartoon in Disney Adventures. It was only a two-thirds page of that little tiny like Reader's Digest size book. But I did that for 2 years, and so that probably had the biggest circulation. This cartoon's on the Go Comic site sees a lot. There's like 17,000 odd subscribers for this comic, but the Disney Adventure circulation was huge. But they had they folded because a lot of parents started protesting their advertisers. So they had like McDonald's and a lot of like, trashy kids food and candy and snacks and stuff as advertisers. And the parents started going after the magazine for having, you know, unhealthy food or unhealthy ads, and so they just shut down because they needed that. They had a huge budget because of the big advertisers. Like if you have McDonald's as a sponsor, you know, it's a ton of money. So yeah, they did really well, and the editors took advantage of that, all that extra money, and they just hired a bunch of like people to do original work. So it was the Disney magazine, but you had half a dozen cartoonists that were doing completely original properties developed for that magazine. So it was really amazing. Like I was amazed by the kind of the company that I was in, being able to do original stuff, and it was all because of this cartoon. So because of domestic abuse, the editor at Disney knew my work, and said, "Why don't you develop an original series for us?" And I got to own the series at the end of it. Like it wasn't. It was work for hire, but I retained the copyright of all the work. So yeah, it was an amazing deal. Like it's, I think, a very rare Disney deal. They probably don't do that anymore. And I think the whatever iteration of Disney publishing that exists now, it's only their properties. It's only comics and cartoons based on, you know, the Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever their thing is that they're promoting. So it was a really like perfect storm, kind of unique situation. But yeah. Oh, nice. Kansas City. Oh, very cool. Yeah. But the nice. Yeah, Garfield. Yes. Yeah. But yeah. So sorry, I'm reading the chat and I'm completely forgetting what I was talking about. Yes, but very yeah, very interesting. Oh yeah. So the Disney, that's right, Disney Adventures. Yeah, so that would be the thing that people had mostly seen, but it wasn't around long enough to like really establish an identity. And it was just about four kids like sitting on a sofa playing video games. It was like a video game themed cartoon. So basically like in different style and everything, but it was very inspired by like the South Park kids, like sitting on a couch, sitting on a sofa playing a game. So the whole cartoon was like just presented as them staring right at you, but they're actually looking at the TV. You know, they're actually playing a game. So yeah, no, I haven't. Yeah, my early work, like the earliest stuff I did, like in art school and stuff, was much darker and more figurative stuff. But yeah, no, I just kind of settled on this style because it had like a sadness, or at least a tone. Whoops. It had a tone that I liked, and it people responded to it. I think a lot of the darker stuff that I did in like early art school, it didn't connect with people. Or I don't know, I just felt like I was relying too heavily on my depression or whatever to power it, and this isn't so much that. There's still life going on inside this cartoon. Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can actually, let me see if I can find, I think I did a website, a really annoying website with that stuff on it, because I was thinking about continuing it after the magazine went dead. Oh, right, that's right. It's a Flash-based website. Shit. I do have those cartoons. I will put those together sometime. So I can show you what the kids look like. There's the kids very faintly. You can see the little characters at the bottom there. These kids. So I just did four kids that sat on a couch, and each of them was like a different aspect of like gaming obsession. Like the little spiky Dragon Ball Astro Boy haired kid was obsessed with, of course, Japanese games. His sister was obsessed with fighting games. She's got the Terry cap on from King of Fighters. The kid in the hoodie was retro games, and the fat kid, of course, was obsessed with sports games. So yeah, it was just a cute, and it very Disney, it's for Disney tweens. So very here, can I make that bigger? Very then it covers them up. Yeah, but as you can tell, I built a Flash website Yes, that's how old I am. I built a Flash website for this cartoon, and Flash is no longer available. No longer supported by anything in the world. Ugh. Yeah, but I have these cartoons. They're kind of square. They're usually 4 panel square comics, more like a Sunday newspaper comic. But those are the characters, and so that's probably the thing I did that was the most well known. I really enjoyed doing it too. The editors were so cool, and they would just like let me run with any ideas. And I was starting to like go. I was starting to go right before they never got published, but I was starting to do these like weird, like yeah, stories of just yeah. The stories were just getting more fun, and I was taking them off the couch and putting them in these weird situations that were a lot more fun. But yeah, and it's kid stuff, so the whole thinking about it is very different. But yeah, if you can kind of see those kids, I've got to have the backup around somewhere. Actually, let me check. Let me go back to the drawing. Let me check if I have them in my on my like Dropbox or something. No. Let's see. No. Yeah, I don't have any of my Disney stuff on the cloud. That's great. Yeah, I wonder where the best place. Sorry, I don't mean to just be yeah, I wonder where the best place to find that stuff. Well, they're on the server still. It's just they can't be served by a Flash app. Yeah, I even did like little Flash games and stuff. So like for each of the characters, I did a little Flash game, like based on the yeah, this is when I was doing Flash animation and development and stuff. Okay, well that's sad enough. Yeah. Oh man. Hey Joe, how's it going? Yeah, Apple killed Flash. Like they tried to kill Flash a long time ago because iPhones, like the original iPhone, refused to support Flash because it was so resource heavy. It would just crash the phones. I'm sure all the time. So they were like, no Flash, and of course, so much of my work in Los Angeles was based on web animation. It was all Flash at that time. So doing Flash animation, so you can like push people, because you can do scripting and stuff that pushed ads on people, and all kinds of garbage. Um, but oh wait, maybe in the slash images. Let me see if I protected my. Oh no, I can't go there. But yeah, they're just real straightforward kinds of stuff. Let me just check real quick if the archive of the website is still up. Yeah, yeah, it's on my portfolio website, which is also Flash based. That's so sad. So I have a portfolio. I have a portfolio that's inaccessible. Oh wow. No, it doesn't exist anymore. Oh wait, that's comics, not kids. Sorry. Yeah, I had Level Up Comics, and then when I was moving over, so it was called Level Up. The comic was called Level Up. But when I strips, when I switched over the ISP, or sorry, the registrar for it, it got lost, and of course somebody grabbed it right away because Level Up is not a good name for something because everything is Level Up. Okay, here we go. Everything is Level Up in game everything. Okay, so let's see what these look like. Maybe just open them this way. There we go. So boop, 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 boop. So these are completely out of order. I think this is a much later one. But yeah, this was the deal. So below this was some other little stuff from Disney Adventures. But yeah, this is what the comics looked like. And most of the time it was like this. Yeah, them just sitting on the couch kind of stuff. But yeah, this was like a totally original idea that I pitched them. And I was worried because it took about a month to figure out the characters and put it together. and then sent them a packet of everything, like the first couple of strips and the character designs and everything, and little background information. And they sat on it for a couple of months. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess this isn't going to happen. And then just out of nowhere, they're like, yeah, start sending us, here's a contract, and start sending us stuff. So not like amazing work, but, you know, and it's made for kids. But it's all the, yeah, I did an actual Alien Attack. That was one of the Flash games. But it was just the emerging kind of culture, you know, divide between video games, like, you know, arcades disappearing, not being a thing anymore, and just barely started like addressing like online gaming and MMOs and dancing games. Look at that. Yeah, so this is all early level. Was all oh, there's some variation there. I think I had to make some edits. Yeah, so some very childish ideas because it's for little kids. But yeah, so this is the thing that probably had the widest circulation that I ever did, because it's the tween market and everything. So yeah, Disney pushed it pretty hard. It was fun for a couple of years, and Disney pays really well. So this was like, if I could have kept this going as just a regular thing, it would have been awesome. Yeah, that would have been really cool. But all this stuff, yeah, especially when there's, you know, parents groups trying to yeah, complain about who your advertisers are. Sorry, I'm totally missing the chat now. Yeah, that's always kind of rough. Yeah, I can probably still draw most of them. Yeah, because I did it. I mean, I, you know, practiced it so much, and I did that thing with I tried to do that thing, and you probably saw at the top, where each of their silhouettes was like distinctly different, so they're recognizable just the shape of them. So I wanted to make sure they were all very, yeah, different. Yeah, right. That's the. That's right. Yeah, so I have to actually start building real websites for my portfolio now. Ugh. But that's how long it's been since I've actually needed a portfolio to get a job. So that's a good, anybody that's trying to do that, doing freelance stuff, is just like with acting, like you get to the point where you don't have to audition anymore. Like people know what you can do. Just by reputation and word of mouth, you get other work. So since I've been in Japan, I've been relying on that pretty heavily. Just people that I've worked with before, just recommending me to other people. So that's kept my freelance going well enough. But yeah, so that was a good deal for a while. But yeah, that's how little I've needed an actual portfolio. So if I go back to that, I mean, I'm so outclassed now with people that are doing you know, After Effects, motion graphics, animation, and, you know, moving illustrations and stuff. Like, I'm not doing much of any of that. So all that work is, yeah, off limits to me. So we'll see. We'll see if I do actually need to start auditioning again for stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna compete very well. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. Nice, Shark. Well, that's very cool. Yeah, I like seeing that too, and that's the interesting thing about like people drawing on live streams and stuff is it's very entertaining because every one of their lines is a line you wouldn't have made, and you know, it's a very fun process to watch people, you know, kind of come up with their stuff, because it's a very different process for each kind of person. Yum likes likes the cat. Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was based on the cat I had in L.A., that big orange tabby that ate my sofa. Oh, nice. Yeah, drama cats. Okay, from now on, we're switching domestic abuse as just a Christian Minecraft cat-based comic. Nice. Yeah. So, okay, well, I guess we're at the writing portion. Yeah, if I switched to cat cartooning, I would be insanely popular in Japan. There are so many cat cartoons here, and so many, you know, readers and fans of cat cartoons in Japan. It's crazy. All right. Nice. Domestic, just hinted to cat abuse. Ah, nice. Yeah, yeah. Where in the world? I need something to prop this up a little bit better. Yeah, I need a. I had one of those. Yeah, I need like one of those stands, those book stands that I have to put this tablet in. Oh, me happy in Japan? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I see from a distance what America's going through, hell yeah, I'm much happier. I can't imagine having an Asian wife in America now and have her deal with through the pandemic, like all the, and not even like, I'm not talking about like, violence or whatever, but just like the weird looks or the weird, because every Asian person is Chinese, in America. Like Americans don't have, I mean, in maybe San Francisco or LA, they have a little more nuanced understanding of Asia, but every Asian person is Chinese. So she would have gotten so much crap. And just like, ugh, that would have been a horrible thing to deal with and really embarrassing, about that country, about my home country. So I'm glad we didn't have to go through that. That sounds pretty fucked up. Yeah, because it's just, yeah, so we probably would have had to, be in Seattle, San Francisco, LA to stay sane during that time and avoid some of the weirdness. But yeah, that would have not been fun. Ultimately, yeah, so this is a great place to raise kids, and yeah, it's got enough. It's not, you don't have the excess of the US. Like you can't have a giant house and a 4-car garage or anything here. It's really, really logistically hard to live at scale, at a huge scale. But other than that, like, the food is safe and amazing, and yeah, there's a lot of things that you don't have to deal with that we would have in the US. And no crime at all. Like no crime. Like you drop your wallet or you leave your phone somewhere, or just the most expensive thing you could think about carrying. If you forget it somewhere and you go back, it's there. It's always there. So, I mean, that may change as more foreigners start to move here, but it's crazy that the karma or whatever is so crazy here. Because people don't want to do something to you that, they wouldn't want to, they would want to avoid themselves. So they don't take things. Your stuff is always there. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is the problem is, yeah, there isn't, you can't, it's very difficult, and especially for a foreigner, it's very difficult to have any sort of political activism or political life here. I have some friends that are, that protest and are politically active, but I think you can get yourself into trouble. You'll find yourself back on a plane to somewhere. I think that's the fast path to deportation. But yeah. So it's yeah, it's not bad at all. I mean, there's a lot of things that I miss, or a lot of like limitations and things, but yeah, ultimately it's good for raising kids and stuff. I think if I was single here, it would wear out pretty fast. I think I would because a lot of this stuff is the family stuff and schools and stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff that is easier to navigate here. Yeah, so I think that's good. But I don't know. A lot of my single friends, they do give up after a while, and especially like European women that are here. If they don't date Japanese guys, then their dating pool is really weird and really small. If it's just other expats, then that's pretty weird, because most expats are interesting. They're very unique individuals. I don't know. Just yeah, very difficult, and most of the time emotionally pretty fucked up. Oh, my she was my translator. Like my kind of my back in my business days, back when I had the company in LA, we met these guys that could get us access to studios in Japan, and we would work on localizing a lot of the like the early CD-ROM games and comics and stuff. Not very rare stuff because already no, not quite yet. Like Tokyo Pop hadn't taken off yet, so there wasn't somebody grabbing up all the titles. But we were negotiating like becoming a studio to localize Japanese stuff. So I came here. I came to Tokyo to meet with a studio, and she was my kind of assistant and translator, and we just kept in touch after the Tokyo trip, and yeah, so it just we stayed in touch, and then after things kind of fell apart for me in LA, then we started dating. And then was long distance for a couple of years, which is hell, which is really expensive and really hell. But at that time, it was probably more affordable than it ever has or will be again. Because you could get a flight for between $300 to $500 round trip, and now it's $1,000 minimum. But yeah, yeah, it was funny because she's from Osaka. She hates Tokyo, so kind of fish out of water. So we were both kind of like, we didn't know where to go, didn't know what to do, even though she's supposed to be guiding me around. She doesn't know the city very well. It was a favor to her cousin, and yeah, so it was just that kind of thing, and it was all very very interesting, new and exciting. The first time I had been to Asia, yeah, the first time I'd been to Asia at all, and then. Yeah, just kept in touch, and she was super young. She was 25 when I met her, and I was 30, just turned 30. Yeah. Ugh. Crazy. Yeah, my number of women. I think so. Especially in rural areas, I think, Shark, I think you're right. There aren't enough women in some, and I think it's mostly because a lot of women will get educated and move away for better opportunities, like better access to, because at a certain point, if you don't meet your husband in university here, you meet him at work, and or a friend of a coworker, and so you want to move to a place that has a better company with a higher level of husband candidates. But yeah, they have that problem. I've heard about that in some of the rural farming areas. So many people have moved away. It's mostly men, and so they kind of they'll import Southeast Asian or Chinese women as for dating, for marriage purposes. So they'll have their what they call their gokon, their what's the, like, a matchmaking party kind of thing. Yeah, but that's only in certain places. I think in the cities probably it's more women than men. Yeah. Yeah. Asians and Hispanics. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely West Coast. You can get very Asian neighborhoods. Huh. Oh, very cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's yeah, funny thing, just kind of a very random thing, and I never would have, like, without that business trip, I never would have even thought about Japan or visiting Japan. My uncle was a homestay student in Japan, like in the 70s, like university, yeah, university age, I think, and but I never would have thought of that. So it was just a kind of a weird, random thing. Yeah, but who knows? Historical Northeast, nice. Yeah, Kansas City. That's cool. Oh man, yeah, I miss. Yeah, it's difficult. That was a weird thing. Like, I moved back before I left LA. I moved back to the Midwest near some family, and it was so beautiful and so green and so amazing compared to LA. But the thing that I realized is that it is very deserted. Like, because it was a town that it was near a town that I went to high school in, and so a lot of classmates were just gone. Like there was no, very few people that I knew there left, and the people that were there, it reminded me very much. And I think I've said this before on stream, but it reminded me very much of Blade Runner. Like it would not have surprised me if I saw like a space blimp, flying overhead with screens saying, a new life awaits you in the the new technology cities of Dallas and San Diego. It's like I could imagine just like people soliciting you to leave, like the off-world colonies joke or gag in Blade Runner, where everybody that's on Earth is left behind. Like the off-world colonies are like where the successful people go. The Midwest felt like there's so much predatory nonsense going on. Like it was so hard to get internet service and stuff where we were. And just people taking advantage of the few people that were left, because a lot of the people that were left were like, were contractors, or they had good lives doing, they had decent careers there, but there wasn't enough of that to go around. And depending on what, my education was pretty much useless there. But it felt really strange. I hated that feeling of abandonment because it was such a beautiful place to be, but the level of the schools, and like there was a lot of like really messed up because they had just consolidated. So it was a bunch of, like, when I was a kid going to school, there was a bunch of little schools, really old, stone or like brick schoolhouses that existed forever, and they abandoned all of those, and they like combined all the school districts, the small school districts, into this one giant K through 12, like looked like a supermax prison kind of building. So yeah, I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah, oh, that's nice. Google Fiber, that's nice. Yeah, it was just I wanted to see, that was I had that dream very early on because I was still working for the LA company doing animation, but I wanted to move out to the Midwest because I could work remotely. I was already working from home for that company in LA, but I was paying LA crazy rent on my place in LA. So I wanted to get out of there, get a cheap place, and still do that same work. But the internet connectivity was a nightmare to get working, and it was this like weird line of sight, like radio signal stuff, so you had to like line up towers, and if you had any trees or anything blocking the signal to your house, they wanted you to build a tower like on your property. So stupid. Oh my god. Nice. Wow. But what are we doing? We're writing cartoons. Oh yeah. So that was nice though. For a year, we were there for a year, and so my wife got to see fireflies and the Milky Way, Milky Way in the sky at night and stuff. So that was cool. That was an interesting difference compared to here, because it's more, the population density is heavier, and it's much more urban. Even in the smaller towns here, it's still pretty crowded. Stuff is crowded. So what are we writing? The line between cosmetics and art supplies. Oh yeah, maybe I should write like red or something on. They had finally blurred the line between cosmetics and art supplies. Alright. They seem to have, they may have. Oof. The line between. Nice. Oh, Joe, you're making me hungry. Oh, man. That's what I miss the most about LA is good Mexican food, good all kinds of Latino food, all of the different stuff you could get in LA. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's oh my god, the tortillas, even the tortillas here are garbage. I don't know what's wrong. I guess there's a few good Mexican places, but every time I order Mexican food in Japan, they try to make their own tortillas, and the flour tortillas are like rubber, and the corn are they just fall apart. Yeah, they're just horrible. They don't, it's I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if somebody gave them a bum recipe or whatever. But wow, wow. Oh yeah. Mm. Nice. Yeah, yeah. I like the taquerias and stuff in LA, even the little tiny ones. They would have the and like those old like they would be like fruit punch or whatever. Those old drink machines that are kind of like constantly blowing around or like stirring around the drink that's in there is like a fountain inside like a plastic thing, and you just put your little you put your cup at the dispenser, but it's always like for some reason active looking. But they would have the I think I definitely have talked about this before, but I think it's called horchata, the milk, the cinnamony kind of rice milk drink that's cool and sweet, but a little cinnamon. So that with spicy Mexican food is wonderful. Yeah, I think I've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure. uh, oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the. I think not speaking English is. Yeah, horchata. Yeah. That's good stuff. Good drink. Yeah, and they're really sweet. The tamarindo, the sweet sodas, right? The like pineapple and oh yeah. You can't get any of that in Japan, which is weird because there's more and more like Latino communities, different like South American, Central American countries are there's immigrants from those countries here, kind of centered around like they'll do factory towns here and hire a bunch of immigrants that work there, but they have like good visas. And I mean, I think it's gotten better. Japan used to be a bit abusive with the immigrant workers, but so you have this whole little like Spanish speaking communities around some of the factory towns in Japan, and but the food, but they can't get good food. That's gotta be a nightmare. Mm. Yeah, but I think speaking anything but English in America probably helps you find nicer people. uh, that would be my experience. All right. It finally blurred the line between cosmetics and art supplies. Something like that. Or yeah, I think I want to write red. Yeah, like a chunky, and maybe something just like this. Uh-oh. See if I can move this down so I can see it. Where is it? Damn it. There it is. Oh, it's much smaller than I thought. Come on, red. Ah, come on. Let's just do this a different color until I can find it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think I want it to just say red so we know it's not a cosmetic. Oh. Wait. And So which way we bend in this? Not that much. Maybe the other way. Yeah, just a little bit. Whoa. Come on. Yeah, I'm really... There we go. That's enough. And then it reads enough. It just says red. Should I do it in white or yellow maybe? Maybe white. That looks good. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I wish I had something. I wish I had something better. Yeah, right. Right, less communication, more peace. That's for sure. Yeah, well, that's my whole strategy with my in-laws. Is I don't let on how much Japanese I understand or speak at all around them, and then we're just don't say anything mean to each other ever. And they're the same with English. I think they understand a lot more English than they let on. But we just smile and enjoy our time together. Oh, man. Nice. All right. Okay, well, let's try. This one isn't any better, is it? The paper bag. So something about admiring, like a folded bag is now kind of a more useless thing, a more yeah, because the image kind of looks like something, yeah, like looking down on or mourning or feeling something has changed. Yeah, let's see. Lunch bag, grocery bag. Oh yeah, maybe the lunch bag, wondering why anyone would need so much lunch. The lunch bag could not understand why anyone would ever, this is a long one, need that much lunch. So not understanding different bags for different functions. There we go. Free bags for Jets fans. Oh man, nice. Oh, folded under pressure. Yum. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Damn. Oh man, this chat always comes through. Yeah, that's good. So like a child disappointed and a parent kind of yeah, folding under pressure. Could not understand why anyone would ever need that much lunch. Lunch with an I. Yeah, I like the folded under pressure. Yeah, so folded under pressure is so good for a paper bag. Free bags for Jets. All right. Yeah, so disenchanting to see a parent. To see a once noble grocery bag fold under pressure. Yeah, fold under pressure is good. Could not understand why anyone would ever need that much lunch. It's still, yeah, it's still centered it. Oh, maybe there's a space. Oh, yeah, there is a space in there. Yeah, I guess it's centered. Oh, man. Oh, I want to figure out, yeah, like a disappointment kind of. Couldn't understand what anyone. Or a combination of, yeah, obviously. Obviously, that much lunch would make anyone fold under pressure. Damn. The guilt, yeah, recycling, yeah, that's the definitely the most. Yeah. Was it the need to recycle, the pressure of recycling that? Damn. Oh, that much lunch. Recycling. Couldn't understand why anyone. Okay. Hey, Will is on Twitch, the ghost town that is my my Twitch channel. Nice. Whoa, where is it? There we go. Nice. Oh, there were a couple. There were a couple of people that stopped by. Oh, weird. Yeah, my Twitch isn't working well. Is that Bob Ross? Yum has a Bob Ross emoji over on Twitch. Nice. Okay, what am I doing? I'm writing cartoons here. Would ever need that much lunch? So big lunch versus folding. So recycling or folding. Yeah, I think I've done a lot of recycling jokes though before. Dang. Could not understand why anyone would ever need that much lunch. Big lunch. Finally blurred the line between cosmetics and art supplies. I don't know if I'm going to do any better than either of these. Yeah, I'm at that stage again where all my caffeine wore out. Yeah, last year I think I was drinking 2 Red Bulls to get through this stream, and by the end of it I was having a cardiac event. It was too much caffeine. But I really need that much sugar and stuff to keep going. Blurred the line between cosmetics and art supplies. Yeah, that's gonna... I think with that image, it's not gonna get better. I think I just... That feels like I just had that joke, though. There was some cosmetics joke. It could have been a year ago, though, for all I know. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, I got to go back and get rid of all of my... Now back to you two. Oh, yeah, yeah. The younger bag was unwilling to fold, yeah. Yeah, so the lunch bag refused to fold under the pressure of recycling? Nice. Oh, Ethiopian. Yeah, I had really good Ethiopian food in Chicago. Nice. Yeah, that was really good. Will fit in this one. Oh, yeah, yeah, like the size. Oh, they're actually showing up. They must have fixed that because yeah, I couldn't see any of your emojis before, any of the Twitch emojis. They wouldn't come up in or either of them. YouTube or Twitch would not come up in this combined chat. So they must have fixed that finally because I would just see the command for them, the tag for them. But now they come up. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Restream is doing. For a while, their chat was really messed up. It was way delayed. Nice. So the lunch bag refused to fold under the pressure to recycle. So either big lunch or recycling recycling defeat. Yeah, guilt. I'm over here now. All right. Anyone would ever need that much lunch? Could not understand why anyone would ever need that much lunch. No, no problem, Shark. Nice. Ah, yeah. So yeah, I think that's probably why my Twitch is so vacant. I don't have anything set up very well over there. Oh, the wind. Oh, that's good too. Like being surprised by how easily. Oh yeah, or like winning a fight or finding the how easily. Damn. Oh, I gotta save something to drink for the little convenience store. Lunchbag cannot understand why anyone would ever need that much lunch. That sounds really familiar. Yeah, I like the blown over. I dropped the soap. Man. Nice. Yeah, folded. Damn. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get anywhere other than these first ideas. Folded is really good though. I just can't figure out a good way to say that. It's so easily folded. It finally blurred the lines between cosmetics and art supplies. Yeah, that's gonna be good. All right, the lines between cosmetics and art supplies. Save this one out while I'm stuck. Sorry. Put this here. Oh, this is for this week. Okay. And this, let's see, the lunch bag. Folded so easily, folded under pressure of recycling. I think I'm just gonna go with big lunch. I can't do it. I can't find okay. That sounds like something I've written before though. I hope it's a safe bet that that I haven't done the exact same thing before. All right. Oh, well, thank you for hanging in there in the chat. And as a reward, can I revert? Yes, there it goes. There we go. There we go. As a reward, I will show you the most garlicky chips ever produced, I guess. I mean, that's what the warning on the bag says. Okay, let's switch over to the convenience store real quick. All right, so as I warned in the notification or in the description, these are the... Okay, so we're back to doing the light. Let me try a different light here. There we go. Oh, it's keying out a little bit, but not too bad. So these are sugoi niniku beef. So niniku is garlic. So garlic beef chips, but they are the sugoi brand. So it's a half cow, half garlic clove. Oh no, wait. Oh no. Wait. I don't have... What's going on here? Do I have my audio? Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. I couldn't see my audio, so I thought it was muted. So, warning. Warning, strong smell warning on the bag. And of course, yeah, so I couldn't resist the high garlic level warning of these chips. And I think it would be better than coffee and steak, right? Garlic and beef sounds pretty good. Yeah, so the third ingredient is garlic powder. So yeah, there's a lot of garlic. A lot of garlic in here. So we'll find out. So this is was it a Yamayoshi? I think we've had some Yamayoshi chips before, and this is their super garlic beef chips that are so garlicky that they will warn you your breath will be terrible. All right, so let's see if this is actually true. Well, yeah. And, oh, geez, yeah, it's really garlicky. You can't just stick your nose right in that. That's brutal. So these were in the Halloween section for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if they look like some sort of experimental Halloween. Wow! 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 That's insanely garlicky. That's really bad. Oh, these are gonna be good though. I bet. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it almost like makes your eyes water. It's so garlicky. Yikes! All right. Yeah, garlic beef chips. Super garlic. They have restaurants. They have garlic restaurants in Japan where it's like everything, like, garlic steak, garlicky pizza, garlicky pasta. So, wow. I mean, it just smells like when you fry garlic in a pan with some oil. Oh, wow. No, these are really good. Oh, man. I'm going to be very unpopular, I think, after eating these. Oh, man. Yeah, so people really like garlic. And I just saw... I was a little too afraid of what they might taste like, but there was fried garlic cloves, like little full cloves of garlic that were deep fried as a little snack. Those would have been brutal, probably just as brutal as these. But wow, I think these are probably going to be just a novelty chip. But they're really good. They're barely beefy. Like there's maybe a little beef consomme or something in there, but it's mostly garlic, and it's actually like burns your tongue a little bit. It's so garlicky. Oh man. Yeah, garlic themed restaurants, they're pretty great. In the Hep 5 building, the big building in Osaka, the red one with the big Ferris wheel on the top, they have a garlic only restaurant in there. So it's everything is garlic. All the dishes and everything are different types of garlic. Garlic ingredient dishes. These are really good. Finally. I should have known too much garlic is not... There's no such thing as too much garlic. Although I'll probably have to find someplace else to sleep tonight. Wow. Yeah, really good. Yeah, a lot of the steak houses and stuff, they'll put garlic chips, like either the dried garlic chips or just the freshly grilled garlic on the plate that's sliced. Nice. Yeah, these are actually really good. They're so garlicky, though, they actually burn a little bit, which is surprising, but they're really good. I mean, if you like garlic, you like that flavor. It's really good, though, because it's really... Whatever the powder is that they used is just garlic powder. It's not some sort of, like, fake chemical or, like, some simulated garlic flavor. They're really, really good. And they're just regular, kind of like the thin potato chips, not anything too... not kettle chips or anything too fancy. So it's perfect. It's a perfect amount of potato, perfect amount of perfect excessive amount of garlic. Wow, really good. Oh, sorry, I missed your question. I have had shark fin soup. Yeah, there's a Chinese restaurant that we had shark fin soup at. They don't. They serve all kinds of evil stuff in Japan. The kind of novelty of stuff. So there's a lot of there's horse meat restaurants. There's whale meat restaurants. And they even have the bird's nest soup and stuff. Like a lot of the Chinese delicacies, they have. It's probably a more refined, a different, a Japanese variation on it. So maybe it's different in China. Wow, these are really good. These would be good with something though. Maybe I should save them for a hamburger or something. Yeah, they're really good. So if you ever see this, beware of garlic. Do not be afraid. So sugoi garlic, a sugoi amount of garlic is a perfect amount of garlic. But sugoi is amazing or wonderful. I don't know what a good translation. So when you say you did a good job, you can say sugoi, well done, or you're just impressed. Like when you are impressed by something, or you're saying it's a lot. You're saying it's a lot of something. Sugoi is the very common Japanese word for that very all-purpose. Wow. Yes, right. I'm sorry, Shark. Did you bring that up, Yum, just to make Shark feel alienated? Wow. Yeah, really good. So I would highly recommend the Sugoi Niniku beef chips. Sugoi. Koko ga sugoi desu. Okay. Wow. Yeah, so finally, a winner. It's been so long. Wow. Oh man, yeah, the coffee ones were terrible. The last few chocolate ones, yeah, the butter chocolate and the melon chocolate. Oh, it was horrible. So I stayed away. Yeah, I stayed away from anything sweet. And the Japanese stuff, the Japanese Halloween themed candies that I've seen out are kind of lame. They're either just some gummy candy, with that are orange or purple or whatever, or very standard flavors, or marshmallows, like marshmallow or their version of marshmallows filled with something. So I don't know how good those would be either. They look pretty rough, very kids style. Oof. Yeah, I can already tell. I can already tell. You guys are so lucky that you're very far away from this stream. Yeah, that's right. Unknown Girl, it's been a while. Yes, the Superior. Yes, they don't have candy corn here, so the Superior Halloween candy. Yeah, it was really good. I'm a sucker for garlic, though. Yeah, I've been to that garlic restaurant a few times in Osaka. So it's good stuff. Yeah. Yes, now I have a barrier against any intimacy in my life. Oh, that's right. But I'm going to. I got to go to the university tomorrow. Well, they always have terrible breath too. That's the thing. I'm surprised. A lot of the university students and staff always had some, because especially the Korean barbecue. Korean barbecue, they use a lot of garlic and stuff too. So if you've had Korean barbecue the night before, you always have terrible breath. But we're still kind of doing the social distance thing, so we're across from each other at like conference tables and stuff. So I'm not too close to anybody. So they may not even notice. I don't know. Ah, bulgogi. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah, I had a baked one of those just recently, like a bulgogi roll. Nice. I'm near Osaka. Yeah, I'm on the Osaka side of the country. I'm in Kansai as opposed to Kanto, so not the Tokyo side. Yeah. Yes. Well, we wear masks all the time in the house, so maybe nobody will notice my breath. Oh, that's right. I saw that the doghouse stream. Nice. That's right. Ah, yes, yes. Cup noodle for Joe. Yeah, they've got some really good cup noodle flavors recently, like tomato, so tomato curry and a couple of and cheesy. They have a cheese curry and a tomato curry cup noodle that are really good. But they also are going to make. If I find them, I'll bring one or I'll have one on stream. The cup noodle sodas. So it's like a curry soda and a seafood something horrible soda. Yeah. So yeah. I visited not a crazy amount, but a little bit of the countryside and more towards Kyushu, more the kind of onsen area. There's a lot of the natural hot springs and stuff. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's nice area, nice and quiet, and just mountains and peaceful. And a lot of it's funny too. Even around here, you'll get people will still maintain a little rice field, like a little plot. It's not much more than to build a house on, but it's a rice field, or there's tea, or people have like miscellaneous little farming properties. And I guess even further out, you can, like, if you live in a big city, you can drive out to the countryside and maintain a little garden. You can rent some space because people do not have yards or back gardens here at all. It's very rare unless you're in like a newer development. They'll give you a little like walled-in back garden, but really tiny. So not you can't play baseball or anything in your backyard in Japan. But so they'll have that in the countryside. People can go out. Nice. Yeah, some kind of seafood flavored soda. Yeah. Yeah, the countryside's really nice, but it's getting abandoned. Like, there's so many empty houses and so many because it's just older people that want to stay in their hometown. Their kids move away to the big city to have better jobs or to buy one of those like development kind of planned neighborhood kind of houses where everyone lives in the same looking house, but you have more space and bigger bedrooms and stuff, which is less common here if you buy something already or older from the city. But the countryside's nice. I'm kind of halfway. It's kind of a bedroom community halfway between like the city and countryside, so it's quiet here, but there's not really like neighborhoods or people aren't really connected so much here. It was built as a bedroom community on a train line. Oh, I don't know. Well, it makes it easier to live here. I think if you're really aggressive or really Japan will kind of like round your corners off and kind of dull you down a little bit because people just don't tolerate people getting angry or people being really aggressive. Like people just kind of shut down if you're really pushing really hard to get something from somebody or get a better table at a restaurant or something and trying to be really aggressive about it. They'll just kind of shut you down and kind of push you out of situations. So it's very interesting how they can kind of defeat. I mean, you can still get away with some stuff just because people don't want to tolerate you, but it's kind of the culture doesn't like loud, obnoxious behavior. Or there's like very specific places where you can do that, but most of the time people aren't going to kind of yield to that sort of stuff. So maybe it was just I think it's just a good fit overall. It works well. So that's good. And I definitely have been changed. I mean, definitely less American. I notice every time I go back to the U.S., everything seems so in your face. Like I have to get my thick skin back on and my ability to just kind of tune things out because and especially because I can understand everything. I don't have to like strain to understand what people are saying. I can easily understand what everyone's saying, so I'm instantly involved in their conversations in restaurants and coffee shops and stuff. So that feels weird. It feels almost like you're like psychic, like you're reading minds, and all of a sudden you hear everybody's thoughts all at once. Because here, unless I focus on what people are saying, I can't understand it. Like just casually I can just pick out words, but I have to focus like on a specific conversation to understand what people are talking about. So it takes effort. But English doesn't take any effort, so you just are intruded on by everybody's like complaining or whatever. So very different style of it just feels very different. So I can very easily tune things out and feel comfortable and alone, and that's easier. Yeah, that's weird. But I felt that. Oh no. Who's my twin brother? Nice. I'm the much less talented. So yeah, I speak functional Japanese. I never studied it. I just kind of learned through, having to use it. Because I was kind of older. I won't talk about how old I was, but I was kind of older when I came to Japan, so I wasn't in student mode, so I didn't want to take classes, and I didn't want to and I was immediately, even when I was here, I was working for American companies, so I wasn't really living in Japan like the first year I was here. I was still staying up late and doing conference calls and stuff. I was like geographically in Japan, but I wasn't like, you know, trying to function very well. But yeah, I picked up a lot. I can't read as well as I should, which is difficult. I mean, that's the hardest part. I mean, I can recognize a lot of characters, but I can't pronounce them. Like I can't read things out loud. But you can understand, because it's pictographs. You can understand the meaning of words. Like I know like the cardinal directions and things like that just at a glance very easily, like north, south, east, and west. So those kinds of things are useful for reading maps and train stations and things, and entrance and exit and all that stuff. But it takes me a minute to remember what the word is or to how to pronounce certain things, because there's, depending on the location where the kanji is in a word, you pronounce it differently. There's like a Chinese pronunciation and then a Japanese pronunciation, and they function a little differently. Jack Black. Nice. Nice. I think I'm significantly taller than Jack Black though. He's a pretty tiny guy, right? I saw him. Did you guys see the last, the Conan O'Brien had his last episode on, where was he? On one of the cable channels. I can't think. But with the cable, when he was wherever he was doing his show on cable, he had the last, and Jack Black was his last guest, and they were going to do this gag, this pre-taped gag or whatever. No, they were rehearsing it. They weren't going to tape it. They were rehearsing a gag where he was like chasing a car or something, and he actually like fell and like broke his foot doing something, and so he had a cast on his foot for the last episode. But they were going to do a much more elaborate like farewell. But yeah. Nice. Uh-oh, wait a minute. I lost my wait. There we go. I lost my other monitor. TBS, thank you, Joe. God damn. Yeah, I forgot all of the basic cable channels. All right. Well, I should wrap this one up. I didn't even notice my monitor went out. That was funny. I should wrap this one up. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to be real garlicky. You are so lucky that this isn't a... there's no exchange of error related in this in this live stream. Oh, man. Those are good, but they are garlicky. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's an insane performer. And always, people said, even when he was like not famous yet, everyone always said great things about him. Like I remember hearing stories about when he was first trying to make it in LA, and how likable he was. So his like charisma, I think, was like a huge part of his success. Like people just instantly liked him, and got him a lot of opportunities. I forget, somebody told the story of delivering a script to him when he wasn't, like, he hadn't done anything big yet, and how good he was. Damn. All right, Shark. Nice. Well, it's good to see everybody in chat, and thanks for stopping by, Lil Will. And yeah, I was just bugging you for a new world, a new world perspective. But yeah, everybody, take it easy, and we will do this again next week. So if you're new to this, I should probably do this at the beginning and not the end, right? Because nobody stayed this long that doesn't already know this. So abusecartoons.com is the website, and then Abuse Cartoons on Twitch and YouTube for the live stream. So subscribe to get notified of when this goes live. And if you want to support this cartoon before it gets too much older and dies of old age, patreon.com/abusecartoons, and the archive that we looked at for the comment section that has all of the previous cartoons, so thousands of hysterical cartoons to to check out gocomics.com/domestic abuse. So yeah, good night everyone, and or good afternoon, good early morning. But yeah, take it easy everybody, and thanks for stopping by. Yes, the great rest of your week. Oh, very cool. Yeah, thank you. Joe and Unknown Girl and Lil Will and K5 and Shark, it was good to see you. And yeah, everybody, that was a nice busy chat. Thank you guys so much. As usual. And Michael Scott was in there with some good questions. Yeah, thank you so much. Nice. And Kane. And oh, it cut off. And Rob checked my spiciness of spelling. That's right. God, this chat is just terrible. This combined chat, it like no longer, you can't refresh it to go back. That sucks. But yeah, K5 must be sleeping right now to get up early. Nice. So everybody take care, and we'll do this again next week. Nice. So yeah, until then, be safe, and don't forget, if you want to check out the game stream, not game stream, the kind of game news update stream, the weekly we do on Friday. So Thursday evening, North American time, we do a live stream on the Upturned Table channel. So upturnedtable.com. I think it's in the description. I put a link in the description for this stream. So that's all tabletop board games and RPG kind of talk. And we will do that every Friday, and then do this every Tuesday, so Monday night for you guys. So yep, have a good week, and we'll see you again. So so take care everyone, and see you soon.